Rank Viper versus Joey Pura. And first of all, I need to get that logo up. Where is it? There we go. So, Wandering Warriors Nomad it is. Let me take the liberty of designating the colors here. Let's make Joey blue and Rank Viper red. It's just for convenience. Pronounce your name better than you do. Nice. Must be the Norwegian accent. Joey Pura. Yeah. Norwegian R. Arr. So it's a best of 7, using the Wandering Warriors map pack. For those familiar with the tournament by D90 and Dave, this is sort of like the Apprentice Division tournament, so a sub-event to the main event using the same map pack, but catering to players from, I don't know, 1500 ELO and below, I would say. So they have drafted Sibs, could have actually had a look at that first. But anyway, it's found here but with exclamation mark draft. I'll show it after this first game just to see what we might see next. And we have Lithuanians versus Turks here, so a little bit surprised that Drunk Viper would let Joey get Lithuanians. I don't remember how many bans they got, but maybe it's just one ban. So I guess Persians and Malians might have seen the ban then. But yeah, Lithuanian, fantastic Nomad civilization because you start with 150 extra food. Only one ban, okay, yeah. So you start with 150 extra food, which means you can focus on wood earlier. Then you could get your dock app and start fishing earlier than most Sibs as well. Persians are bad, gotcha. We'll look at the draft after. I just had a quick glimpse at it before starting here. So yeah, Lithuanians famous for being a cavalry civilization. Attack boost per relic for the cavalry. I mean, the knights and the unique unit, the lightest, they get +1 attack per relic up until 4 relics. So you definitely want to secure the relics at Lithuanians. Not the worst spot relics-wise for Joey Pura here. It's one over there that's hard for Drunk Viper to catch unless he transports over, which I doubt he will. And then there's the other relics around here. Light David 7, thanks for the follow. Thought you followed already, but I appreciate it regardless. Since you've been around many times before, I mean. Yeah, so relics here, too close to Drunk Viper's base. If Drunk Viper, for example, walls here, that means 2 relics within his possession without too much hassle. And but otherwise, I think it should be long term. It shouldn't be too hard for Joey to secure at least 3 relics here. With that said, the Lithuanians have good trash as well. They have faster moving trash units. The Spearman line and Skirmisher line, they move faster for the Lithuanians. So that's one to keep in mind. So this Nomad generation has a big... It's, of course, not connected water. That's the thing with this Nomad generation. They wanted it to be this way. But yeah, big ditch in the middle here where you could also dock with... almost better dock spot than to the sides here, actually, where there's definitely deep fish here to be taken. But as you see, 3 spots, and then you need to move a lot further to get anywhere. So yeah, corner docking is usually good because there's going to be shorter distance towards the deep fish. But yeah, as they scout the map, as you can see here, they're using sheep to scout the map. You don't start with scouts on nomads, so that's why you're seeing sheep wandering around there, just AoE 2 things. They'll notice that there's water in the middle here as well. They might even spot the deep fish if they get lucky here. So that's something to think about for the later game to extend your fish eco and get some more food in the middle here as well, where they might be fighting long term. We'll see. Turks, I don't know what the idea behind Turks is. I mean, the Turks have shit trash units, to say the least. They only get skirmishers, they only get spearmen, no pikemen, no elite skirmisher. So having to rely on heavy Campbell to counter the Lithuanians' cavalry, that could be an issue for the Turks here. Of course, when or if you get your castles up and get to the Janissaries and a decent mass, then the cavalry player might potentially struggle because you have Janissaries with 8 range to snipe cavalry with their high damage attack from a distance. So that remains to be seen how this game plays out. They are sort of like placing each other in Arabia-style distance spawns here. Or, yeah, on each side of the map, so they have half the map at their disposal. Looking at the gold spawns, though, except for the gold right underneath the TCO Joey Pura Vida, the right-hand side is the second closest gold, which is arguably safe, but also very far away. So this could be this is a fantastic TC spot for later. But yeah, gold could be denied and become an issue. For example, if Joey Pura Vida is subject to a cast drop over here at some point, which can happen on Nomad, as you know. Looks like they're both keeping that idle TC time at a decent level. Joey with a little bit higher idle TC time here, but nothing too crazy. The mill is up, the dock is up, so the 2 buildings to go up are in place here. 5 and 6 fish, 7 fish respectively. And by the looks of it, I think Joey wants to contest water here, because he has a shore fisher over here as well. Might want to drop a second dock and yeah, take Drunk Viper of fish down here. Isn't there a hill at the perfect TC spot? I think you could TC here, that was my idea. Or even here to TC the berries and the wood and the gold. But I might be reading it wrong. This is, yeah, there's a bit of elevation here, maybe it's tough, but I think you could still TC here. Should be just enough space. Yep, second dock, as theorized here by Joey Pura Vida. Healthy amount of fish here, 8 fishing ships, only 5 for Drunk Viper, which would suggest a fast cast late approach here, 3 on gold. Could be needing to contest water as well, doesn't really know the location of, or maybe, yeah, maybe got some idea here seeing the houses that there could be a dock over here. Second dock going up just now, but Joey is far away from the fuel age here, so with those 2 docks, Joey is still going to be pretty far behind in the naval army's production. Maybe there are other plans here. Looking at Joey's situation here, with only being still having 50 seconds to go to the fuel age, these fish are in danger. Second dock for the Turks player as well. First fire galley just popped out, I think. At least it's about to complete. Yeah, looking good for Drunk Viper here, I have to say. It's in terms of naval control. Here comes the blacksmith as well, and 1 of 2 buildings needed to go to the next stage. That is, while Joey Pura Vida is walling off at home and does know the location of Drunk Viper though. So why these walls here? Maybe plans to wall here and here or something. Let's see, as the game progresses, fuel age is in, fire galley is in the queue. And because of that later fuel age, to catch up here, I think Joey will need to drop another dock and try to get out as many as possible. But the wood situation here, there's a lumber camp. Knowing that double bit axe is very important upgrade to keep consistent wood income, that's probably why Joey is dropping it. Also to refresh and not have the villagers walk that far to collect wood. Yeah, 1 fish about to go down there, but Joey Pura Vida gets the first hit on this fire galley. So that's a fight that he'll be winning. In the meantime, just stacking up on the fire galleys inside the docks here. That is a good call to wait for crucial numbers before engaging here, but might not be enough though, because the Drunk Viper already has 4 galleys out. Mike the Great 54, we just started here, so who's winning? We don't know yet. But it looks like Drunk Viper is in a good spot to start winning water here, looking at the overall army situation. Only producing out of 1 dock now, so that gives Joey Pura Vida a chance to catch up here, and is making a demolition raft inside of this dock. So with some luck, could get a good demo hit in on the fire galleys here, so to weaken their hit points and make it easier to take them out with his own fire galleys inside of the dock. Generally speaking, you always want to try and hit more than 1 target with the demos though, so you can weaken more or kill more ships at once. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that demo. if it's going to engage. One fish going down for Joey here. Drunk Viper now up to the Castle Age. Looks like the demo was used down here, so one of the fire galleys may be taken out here, but at this point I can't help but feel like Joey Pura Vida should just maybe just bail on water here, because it's yeah, actually the situation is evening out here, and he has more fish than Drunk Viper still, so maybe it's worth to fight for it still here. But looking at the, I mean, when the other player is up more than 1 minute ahead of you, 1.5 minutes ahead, that's generally not a good spot to be in to contest water, unless you're outnumbering them in docks and production, and currently they're both with 2 docks. Castle Age uptimes are comparable here, and because of the extra fish, Joey Pura Vida has a healthier food income, at least for now. So going into Castle Age at a healthier food income, the gold disposition seems to be similar here, but the overall eco population, that is 4 ahead for Joey Pura Vida here. So that's something we might see as an advantage when the Castle Age kicks in. The barracks is up here, so I'm assuming that Joey wants to go for the cavalry approach here, the knights or whatnot. One dock going down here as a Drunk Viper now even getting fire ship. Joey still making the fire galleys, really wanting to keep control of water here, but about to lose this dock. It's outnumbered. At this point, I'd say just stop investing or potentially redock in the middle instead, and then just try to count on Drunk Viper not noticing that. Here comes the second TC for Drunk Viper, goes on the stone, suggesting long-term investment. If only Viper wasn't drunk, he would have remembered to create more fishing ships. Well, it really doesn't make sense to create more fishing ships until you know you control water, so once this dock is down, I hope that Drunk Viper will add more fish, but I don't think it makes sense to add more fish before you've defined the victory. Here goes the stable for Joey Pura Vida, now aiming for land control, but as you can see, Drunk Viper is also making the cavalry archers, which is one of the Turks' stronger units. They have full upgrades, plus I think they get a unique technology benefiting the cav archers as well. It is only 1 archery range for now, but at least consistent production here from Drunk Viper, and yeah, fletching is in, Vodkin will be in soon enough, I'm sure, as well. And yeah, naval domination for Drunk Viper is even chasing the fish with the remaining, one of the remaining fire galleys here. Yeah, that's it. The plus 20 HP Sipahi, that's what it's called, the unique tech for the Turks. 2 stables for the Lithuanians, also using that forward stable builder to drop a mining camp on the stone here. Drunk Viper will be expecting the cavalry from the Lithuanians, at least I would. Looks like we're going to see a cast. Are we going to see both cavalry archers and janissaries here? That is a gold intensive, but arguably strong combo. Not sure if I understand this castle though. It only protects the woodlines over here. Guess if you wall here and wall here, you're secured, kinda. But yeah, it's gonna go up for sure. No stopping that with those quick houses and walls from Drunk Viper. What's the scouting like here? Actually, Drunk Viper doesn't know Joey's location on land yet. The scouting kind of limited here because but you'll probably assume that there's someone over here. Yeah, I remember the names, but not always what they do. It's like, yeah, so many unique texts that you never research, and then either you remember the name or what they do, or none of them, so. So Joey attempting some raids here. I think it's gonna get one villager at the very least to be... Wow. Yeah, these villagers are dying quickly here. That's 2 villagers, or is it only 1? Drunk Viper, that's only 1 villager, so good save there, getting back to the TC here. Well, it's more important to remember what they do than the name. Oh, snipe the farms, go on, hit the farms, they're unbuilt. You can kill 4 farms here, that's 240 wood down the drain. Okay, so fair play award to Joey Pura Vida for this one. Didn't take a single farm here, even though the knights were right next to them. But if he loses this set, at least he gets the consolation prize of the fair play award. Oh, that's unfortunate. Building the structures so close to the water, it could actually be taken out by the fire galleys here. That's going to be one stable that needs to be replenished or rebuilt by Joey. Wood situation not ideal here. I guess he's going to re-lumber camp over here. Quite a healthy farm eco as well after having lost the fish. And speaking of a unique tech, here is Sipai from the castle for the Turks. So building the castle for the unique tech for the cavalry archers. Yeah, the silver tech of Malians is Tigui. That's the one that allows the town centers to shoot arrows without villagers garrisoned. Tigui, something like that. Tigui. So +2 defense is in for Joey's knights here, which means that this gets even easier to raid underneath TC fire. But apparently he wants to kill a lumber camp instead, and as the cavalry archers and cavalry numbers are increasing here, they're matching in numbers, but there's the fact that you can hit and run with the Turks cavalry archers that makes a difference. So Sipahi is in for Drunk Viper, but Bloodlines is not in yet, so with Bloodlines, Drunk Viper is going to be looking at 90 hit points total for the cav archers, I think. But this is a surprisingly good cleanup of armies from Joey here. It's 9 knights to 5 cavalry now, gets to take out some units here. Then again, the overall eco situation is not playing into Joey's favor here. He did lose control over water, as Drunk Viper has been adding fish as well. Might want to redock at some point to make it a little bit more efficient, But yeah, scouting is on point now for Drunk Viper. Still doesn't know the land location of Joey, but has scouted the whole water area here. Actually redocked in the middle here, which is good. There's lots of deep fish here to be taken. Yeah, Bloodline is... I don't remember the price of Sipahi, but unique technologies are always kind of expensive, so Bloodlines would make sense for sure. Besides getting a castle, it's a lot more expensive than getting a stable app. But Ballistics is coming in. Sure, we'll see a stable at some point, but for now it's 2 ranges pumping out the cavalries. Thumbring queued here as well, that's going to give the 20% faster firing rate to the cavalries. And in the meantime, we'll see Joey Pura Vida extending the honey a bit here. This could be denied by the cavalry archers if Drunk Viper decides to move out here. But by the looks of it, it's going to complete. That archer has to be a misclick. Hotkey mistake. Been there, done that. So, hitting and running here. Still no bloodlines for the cav archers, but it doesn't matter. They have the equivalent of bloodlines in the current stats, so That's not a big deal. Getting some more hits in on the Knights there, +2 of course helps, but get enough hits in and they'll go down. The stable is on the way, so I guess we'll be seeing Bloodlines in not too long. Supply is 350 food, 150 gold. Yeah, alright, so you could afford Bloodlines almost 3 times. 2.5 times, yeah, 2 times Bloodlines for supply, yeah. I mean, they're splitting the map in half here. It's not bad, but the bad thing for Joey Pura Vida is if he loses this position and doesn't get any fortifications up like castles or something here to claim this area, then Drunk Viper is sitting with almost all the gold. I mean, the gold isn't going to run out anytime soon. There's still 3 tiles here, like 1500, 2k gold here, 1500 maybe, and then there's this one over here that I know Pura Vida Joey has scouted. So that's another 6 tile gold, but 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles of gold on the Drunk Viper's side, if we can define it that way. So, certainly going to develop into a fight for resources eventually. This Joey is going Imperial Age. Not sure what Imperial Age is going to give Joey here. It's going to give Cavalier, of course. Going to give Bombard Cannons potentially, because Lithuanians get that if they research chemistry. But yeah, I don't know. We need to see some skirmishers or scorpions added here for Joey Pura Vida. You can't just rely on knights, I think, because if you look at the movement speed here, the Cav Archer is, well, actually they're not faster yet, but if Drunk Viper gets husbandry at some point, then the Cav Archers are going to be, well, is it in actually? It just kicked in, so I have to look at the stats while casting here. Anyway, Cav Archers and Knights. Slightly faster for the Cav Archers, so they'll always outrun the Knights and be able to hit and run, right? Now, finally, Drunk Viper is moving out on land to confirm Joey Pura Vida's location here. Should be finding some exposed eco to raid here, like the wood line, or yeah, he could simply just run around and hit the farms, and if Joey Pura Vida tries to wall, there's the Fire Galley here to stop that. So yeah, Drunk Viper, great spot here. 11 fish, 87 villagers. The pure villager count is better as well. Let's see if Imperial Age will do something for Joey Pura Vida here, though. Could, of course, get Onager as well to get some better splatter shots in on the Cav Archers. You never know. But I'm not convinced Imperial Age will give anything substantial here for the blue player. The Cav Archers are in. That is a decent mangonel shot, but as you see, the Cav Archer in ridiculous mass at this point, they actually one-shot the mangonel, so that's just not going to be enough. Drunk Viper collecting the relics, it's true, yeah, if you feel like you have the map control and the ability to do so, and certainly want to stop the Lithuanians from getting them. Another castle I don't quite understand on the hill here. A bit of a panic castle for Joey Pura Vida, maybe, to deny Cav Archers entry or easy entry into this side. That's a lot of villagers going into building, by the way. That's 29 villagers, but yeah, the castle is going to get some hits in here, and even more so if Joey Pura Vida gets garrisons the villagers and gets to get some extra arrows to hit the Cav Archers. There we go. These players just, they don't snipe on build for. What is this? It's so, I mean, wood doesn't matter nearly as much as this part at this part in the game, but if I see an unbuilt farm, I shoot it. That's just the way I work. Just Joey know the land is not connected. Yeah, he knows. It's not a horrible castle, it's on the hill, it's protecting some areas here, but I would have loved to see it on this side instead, because of the gold and stone situation to secure resources. Of course, there's armies here to potentially deny them, but if you send that many villagers, you'll be fine anyway, I think. Not to mention, if you get the castle up on this side, with your Imperial Age advantage, you could produce trebs and put a stopper to the Turks' defenses here, and raid more efficiently. But the Cow Watcher numbers, they are off the charts here for Drunk Viper. Imperial Age is just 10 seconds away now, and there's 45 Cow Watchers to benefit from Bracer and Heavy Cow Watcher and Parthian Tactics upgrades here. This is splitting up the groups as you should be doing with the Cow Watchers. That's their strength, to raid in small groups and idle a lot of economy at the same time. You can't quick wall them out because they have a ranged attack. Is there a bracket for this? Yeah, I'll see if I can add that after this game is finished. Actually, I can see if I can find it now. So, Drunk Viper also making it to the Imperial Age here at a solid eco lead. Look at the food count here. We see the Hussars has been planning that all along, 40 own farms. Really speeds up the production of units from the stables by adding lots of stables here to Q Hussars. Food eco definitely warrants that. Parthian Tactics is in, that gives a little bit of extra damage against for example, the Spearman line as well. And yeah, Cav Archer Hussar, such a deadly combo when you can get to it. But have a look at the upgrades. The defense upgrades totally missing here. Now Scale Barding Armor being queued here. Joey Puravida is in the Imperial Age, was first to the Imperial Age, but still doesn't have a Cavalier and is now committing to Elite Skirmisher instead, which is essentially the proper call, but with Hussars now on the menu for Drunk Viper, then the Elite Skirmishers will struggle as well to deal with this. I think this, once you get to this crucial mass of Cow Archers and Hussars, it's so hard to stop. Bombard Cannons even are out now. I think Drunk Viper will be claiming a lot of the map in a short time now. Yeah, I think the links are auto censored, David, but thanks. There we go. That should be the bracket. The GG well played is called, and Drunk Viper takes the first game here with convincing Turks play. And I think the Turks have actually been picked. I think I've read it's one of the least picked Sibs this tournament, so Drunk Viper certainly playing that with competence here. You can see the stats: Cav Watchers, Knights, that's the most created unit, at least according to the stats here. Could have a little look at the timeline here. Gill nets for the fish at minute 36, that boosts the food income. Wait, I don't have a bracket command. Here we go. Okay, the 103 to 46, which is convincing on its own. And raising 10 buildings as well. That's the Bombard Cannons doing most of that work. A very convincing score or eco lead here for Drunk Viper as well. Bleeding Water fairly early. As you can see from the uptimes, it's almost 1.5 minutes ahead. That's a pretty significant lead when you want to claim water. And it should show in the eco situation as well. Fishing ships, not too different, but Joey did lose the fish early or mid-feudal age, while Drunk Viper kept fishing the whole game, and that also explains the food income difference here. It's 3k more food for Drunk Viper. So here we have the draft. Let's just cross out Turks here as the winner and Lithuanians as the losing Sib here. And we'll be going to the next game, which will be Joey Puravida's first home map. Last pick versus third pick. Yeah, you're right. Compass is up next. One that David took a game of his opponent, off Drunk Viper on, in fact, in the very first round of the tournament. So maybe Drunk Viper has learned his lesson for Compass. It's not his home map though, it's his opponent's home map. So we'll see how that plays out. I think we gave Joey the blue and Drunk Viper the red. And PLO, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. So this is a transport ship start. You start with the villagers in the middle, and then you need to transport to either of the sides of the compass here to settle down, get your TC up, and start collecting food. It would happen sometimes, of course, that the players settle at the same quarter of the map here, but usually not, since their transport ship spawns at each one of these islands. Some relics in the middle to be claimed for the long term here, otherwise it's all about the land control, and there are 2 gold patches and 2 stone patches on each of these compass sides. You can cross over here. Oh, you came from Draken's charity stream for Ukraine. Glad to hear that, Svelo. Yeah. You probably talked to Arsak then. Glad to hear it. I know your name. You're modding a lot of places, Bilo. Bilo? Yeah. So the players are plopping down their TCs on woodlines as usual. They also both docked the middle and started producing fishing ships already. Because I guess you start with fish on this map. But yeah. Get the dock down nice and early to start that kickstart at food income. And then as you scout, you'll notice that there are cows to be collected on the shoreline or on the land in general as well. So you want to bring those home, of course. And just AoE things you can transport animals on your transport ship unmanned with no problem whatsoever. Is it true that there are elephants in the south and boars in the other locations? Let's have a look. Elephants here. Boars here. Boars here. Boars here. Oh yeah, you're right, David. So it definitely makes sense to settle in the south, because you get that food boost of elephants. But it could be that there are fewer elephants than there are boars. Let's have a look. 2 boars. Nah, it's similar actually. So yeah, definitely worthwhile to settle in the south because of the extra food. Oh, you're watching ski sports, BLO. That's nice. That's yeah, we had a good run in the Olympics. There's a bit of heat in the media currently as to letting Russian athletes participate in the World Cup here in Norway, but yeah, it's just the way it goes. Each corner has its own advantages. Okay, so maybe more gold. Let's have a look at the gold spots. Nah, the gold positioning is the same. Berry patches, the same. I don't know if there's any advantage to the different corners. Looks like there might be a little bit more hunt to the north. Nah, I don't. I think it's quite similar, except for the elephants. Yeah, the cows. Yeah, okay, yeah. Three patches of berries here to the west. 4 patches to the south, unless there's more berries on these, but it's really not that different. So the berry disposition is the same. I don't know what the cows, maybe there's more cows otherwise, but yeah, elephants definitely, as you can see from the food here, it's different. Okay, yeah, I can't compare them, but definitely a little bit more food on the elephant. So Joey here, it's at a 2 eco units lead. Idle TC time is virtually nothing here for the players, because they are they did start with fishing fairly early on. And with the more fishing ships out for Joey, surprisingly enough actually. Granted, Vikings save a little bit of wood from cheaper docks, but the Italians had cheaper fishing ships, so Drunk Viper should ideally be the one ahead here in numbers. Don't like the Vikings on water. The passages are so narrow, fire ships would be the dominant power on water. Yeah. Except when you get to longboats, the Vikings are beastly on water, right? So, Not sure if I agree, but I also don't play naval maps. I play Arabia and land maps in general, so I'm no naval expert by any means. Yeah. Not having pirate ships is kind of a setback for Vikings in the feudal, but they have the stronger economy to compensate for that and facilitate a faster castle age, and the cheaper docks as well, so you could go 3 docks over 2 from your opponent, for example, and try to outmass them by patiently massing galleys before releasing them, and then just rely on the hit and run micro. Yeah, I think so too. If you get to the galleys numbers, you'll be alright. See, Joey is scrambling up a dock here at a quick pace, though. Maybe realizing that he'll be needing that to contest water later on. It's 1 dock versus 2 currently, and they're using their transport ships to scout the naval situation as well, looking for docks, looking for the investment. Actually, they're both with 2 docks, never mind. They both have 2 docks. Could be why Joey was rushing up the second one, actually. Neither player going feudal age yet. They seem to be missing the buildings, I think, which is relatable. Now, Drunk Viper has the lumber camp up and is now going feudal age, and once Joey completes his lumber camp, is going to do the same. It is hard to beat the Italians to the feudal age. They have a cheaper advancement through the ages, 15% discount on all the age ups. But then again, with an economic advantage, as is the case for Joey here, you should be able to match, if not the feudal age, then the castle age with the stronger food eco. 4 on gold for Joey as well. Drunk Viper is going up, but didn't go to gold yet. Isn't just now dropping the mining camp. Maybe that will affect the unit's production early on. And Belo, me and Arsec are planning an arena event on my channel at some point. A map script of arena that Carsini is working on for him. And yeah, I think we'll call it like the Arena Classic or something. With classic arena spawns, but balanced and fair. Just lots of variables like small base space, big base space, to boom, close walls, far distance walls, etc. So you'll have to adapt. So stay tuned for that. It's still in the planning. Quite similar uptimes here. Let's just have a look at the times just to... Yeah, it's like 15 seconds apart. That's no disaster by any means. 3 docks for the Vikings. As far as I can tell, only 2 for the Italians. And with 6 on gold, that might be a little bit too few for Joey to keep triple dock consistent production. I think galleys are a little bit expensive, more expensive than the fire galleys. Oh yeah, you're a clown friend, I see. Yeah, he'll let you know then. So galleys, they are beasts at killing fish. I think they have some kind of bonus damage against ships. 8 bonus attack against ships. So on galleys, they kill... If you have 3 or 4 galleys, you could almost one-shot a generic fishing ship, I think. The circus travels together, exactly, yeah. I think it was Magnolia talking about making... Someone has to make a mod where the villagers wear clown hats and the town center is like a circus tent. That would be amazing. Ooh, this is value for the Italians here. Drunk Viper is getting lots of kills on Joey Puravida's fish income here. That's 2 or 3 eco KD so far. And that's going to increase. It's going to be another one, I think. The fletching needs to be gotten ASAP though to boost attack and range and everything. Rat and Archer hats for Vietnamese elephants. Ooh, awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see that. RIP transport ship, I guess. Yeah, Italians here showing the power. It looks like Joey wants to go fast castle with the Vikings here, but that's going to backfire. Here comes the market. So once the castle age is in, of course, he can get those longboats out, but at the expense of losing a lot of fish here. And from what I can tell, there's no compensation in investing into farms here. It is taking the berries for the middle though, so that helps a little bit. It's also walling the crossings here. Ooh, walling out one builder actually. But will it be enough? I mean, Drunk Viper could also go Castle Age here once the buildings are complete for that purpose. We'll be needing a market or another second building to go up. Here comes the market. So, the Vikings will be getting to the Castle Age first here. But if you lose the docks, obviously you won't easily be able to make those longboats. So, clock is kind of ticking for Joey Pura Vida to get production rolling here. Looks like he desperately wants to get the castle up. That could be a means to get back on water as well, to protect the docks with a castle on the shoreline, and then mass up the longboats. But eco balance not ideal here now for naval army production in the castle stage. Naval control, as you can see, is just so huge on this map. It's like 30% of the map at least. Interesting how fast the Vikings get up without farms. Yeah, the fish food income is crazy. They did invest a lot into fish. And since you save 15% wood per dock, you're able to save a little bit of wood for that actual fishing ship production as well. What's this woman up to? Does she want to drop an outpost, or is she just trying to hide from the galleys here? Yeah, that's... Oh, look at the villager micro! She's running! I think she's auto-running, actually. Oh, she wants to drop a sneak barracks. Ah, now I get it. But yeah, she couldn't get through. So, rip. Yeah, David has the in-game event planned. Nice. There is a carnival event currently, though, so maybe we should just ask him to adapt that. Looks like this castle will complete. There aren't galleys here to deny this, and besides, I don't think the feudal age galleys would be able to reach this. This castle protects at least... I guess it kind of protects both docks here. Careening coming in for Joey Pura Vida, so he'll have some extra armor for its boats as well, while Drunk Viper now in the castle age should be able to get War Galley right away. And Bodkin, those should be his priorities right now. Bodkin Arrow, War Galley, potentially careening as well once you see that the Vikings player actually has that. And here comes War Galley, nice. And 2 TCs as well. This Italian player isn't joking around. He's TCing both golds and woodlands here and establishing a nice land economy here. Bodkin as well. While the longboats have careening and Bodkin arrow. Who gets the better trades here? Let's have a look at the range. No Bodkin just yet for the war galleys, so they'll have the same range for the longboats. Slightly lower HP, but faster firing rate for all I know. At seconds between attacks, 3 seconds between attacks, and 3. Yeah, same attack rate, but longboats fire more arrows, so they deal more damage still, I think. Yeah. Good engagement for longboats, and you have the castle to defend as well. Good Vikings recovery here from Joey Pura Vida. Second TC going up as well. On stone and wood here, so might be planning another castle, and eventually we might see berserkers even from the castles. Yeah, it's true. The longboats fire faster, or they fire more arrows. I think that's the difference, main difference, because the reload looks to actually be the same here between them. It's like 3 seconds between attacks. And they're much more maneuverable as well. You just pull them, they turn immediately, as opposed to galleys. Their movement rate is a lot more efficient. Ooh, we need ballistics here to snipe the fish. Well, just like that, Joey Puravida is claiming the naval control back here. The Drunk Viper has lost most of the war galleys here. Yeah, I mean, they shoot more arrows. It's as simple as that. The war galley shoots one projectile, while the longboats, they seem to be firing at least 3 arrows at once, right? So, as long as they hit, they'll be dealing more damage. So, I see some villagers over here. Looks like Drug Viper wants to claim the left side compass piece, while Joey is content just to stay at home here with the 2 TCs producing consistently, while Drug Viper with the 3 TCs isn't producing at all now, so he might be panicking a little bit after losing the naval presence here. Fire galleys are out, so if they get close enough, they will slay the longboats, of course, but you can always hit and run with longboats, so this shouldn't be a huge issue for Joey Puravida once he realizes what's up here. Looks like... let me just double check if Joey has careening here, but I don't think he... Oh, okay, they both have careening, so they both have that armor for the ships as well. Good one to pick up. Yeah, good thing you guys know the stats better than I do. They're not very accurate, but that's because of lack of ballistics as well. It is arrows after all, so once you get ballistics in, you'll be firing more accurately on the moving targets. Galley coming out here as well could be a hotkey mistake. The production seems consistent for both players here, even though not all of the docks are producing. Now, walling off the side up here, Drunk Viper is going to claim two sides here. Can't play so you learn stupid stats and test things. Nice. Well, we all need some stats nerds out there. So this is a big old naval battle here. They are somewhat equal in economy here. They actually... there's a tiny bit of fish for Drunk Viper, so that's an eco advantage, but the overall villager count is now ahead for Joey Puravida due to much lower idle TC time. Yeah, losing some numbers, arguably a little bit needlessly here, but there's always a lot to focus on these hybrid maps, naval and land things. You need to make sure both your land and naval economy is working. Speaking of, by the way, maybe Joey could get back to fishing soon, maybe dock over here or something to get some of that deep fish, or even though food eco isn't the issue just yet, if you invest more in food, you'll be able to get to the Imperial Age earlier as well. More docks for the Italians player. Definitely trying to get back into it here. And just lumber camped on the mainland here. No TCs or anything. It could be... No, it's not really lack of stone either. One foundation gets denied. And yeah, the longboat's still doing work here. I'd really love to see some ballistics kicking in here though, with that kind of wood and gold that Joey Puravida has in the bank. That definitely would be beneficial here. Or seed some more farms, get the farm upgrades, get some food economy rolling so that the Imperial Age can be clicked and you can get elite longboats or trebuchets on land to start contesting the situation. Where are we going now? Okay, if you're going to drop a castle over here, you're going to need to pound through the palisade walls first, and you are venturing into dangerous territory here if you're joining Puravida. This is, if the Drunk Viper had demolition ships now, this would be the moment. Just a big bam here. Of course, there are longboats to stop that from happening, but... Alright, we have cover fire, we're fine. So I guess the first castle will be going up over here somewhere. Longboats galore here. We have how many? 15 longboats total. And looks like the fish has been contested again as well. Only 3 fish left for Drunk Viper here. And they're in. Woohoo! There's no denying this because there are longboats behind here to stop any ranged or melee units of Drunk Viper from completing this castle. That one is going up. It's going right on some of the production here as well. So this range and this barracks might very well be going down here. Yeah, it's true. You had longboats dangerously close to the docks over here. But you need to think about the demo. And with the 130 HP, I think... Yeah, maybe Demolition Ship deals enough damage to take out some of them. Some of these are weak as well. But you can always hit and run. If you're paying attention to your units, you don't need to worry about the demolition hits on the longboats. Well, that's some good aggression here by Joey Pura Vida. Doesn't really know too much of what's going on over here. The food eco is very low for both players. Oh, demos. Speaking of, maybe we will see a demo here. Oh. Is it comeback time? Oh, I never knew that the castle doesn't retarget 2 units if you target a building. I had no idea, but yeah, classic. Just castle things. Demo? No, not this time. Still 22 longboats and counting for Joey Pura Vida here. More healthy units production here is assuming naval control big time here with the numbers. 25 to 10 military. And when you control the water, there's not really much Drunk Viper can do to punish the home base of Joey here over here. Still no ballistics, they say. Yeah, that hurts when trying to snipe moving units, but yeah, if you take out the docks, there's not going to be any more naval aggression here. Another castle going up on the crossing here. That's a good way of securing the north part of the compass here for Joey, and eventually to push in on land, of course. At some point, these players need to scout each other's areas if they can as well, to confirm or deny that there's some presence on the other compass pieces. The longboats elite yet? No, because we're still in the castle age. No, good spot. Demolition ship not getting any hits in. And we won't be seeing Imperial Age anytime soon because the food count is really low. If you see this progression bars here, that's the food and gold needed to go to the next stage. And these are the building requirements. But since both players have castles, they're set for the Imperial Age click. But obviously they need a lot more food and gold before they can do so. Drunk Viper seems to be closer, actually. And he's Italians as well, so he has a cheaper uptime or up-click cost. I think we're liking Joey Pura Vida's spot the best here. Sipai is 350 food and 150 gold, but what does Imperial Age cost? Well, for the Italians, it's... oh... 850 food and... what's 10% of 800? 15% of 800, that is... 125, is it? So 800 food, 675 gold for the Italians, and it's 1000 food and 800 gold, of course, for Joey. With the generic Imperial Age cost. And I probably did the maths all wrong here, but yeah, who's counting? Speaking of Imperial Age, we have Joy Pura Vida on the way up here. That should unlock the Elite Longboat upgrade, or maybe more importantly, the Trebuchets. Arbalest, if you want to switch into land aggression with the Vikings, that is an option as well, because you already had the eco set up for longboats anyway, costing the same kind of resources. These transport ships are just gonna live for Drunk Viper. Why does he have 3 transport ships? Maybe he was planning some sort of transport ship masterpiece. I don't know. University. I thought that was a TC for a moment, but that is indeed a university to get. Who even knows? We see petards in the queue here as well. Desperately wants to get rid of that enemy castle, and ironically enough, this barracks keeps keeps the castle targeting the barracks instead of the petard, so you have to force click every petard. No villagers here to repair. Ah, okay, so I missed the gold cost. Gotcha. Wait, there is one. I was going to say there's no villagers here to repair, but that's not correct. There's one villager here definitely repairing this castle and getting ready to produce some traps. Look at that wood in Campo Joe Pura Vida. 64 on wood. I think we have the gathering points set to wood here, and the Berserk is on the field. Maybe he will take care of these transport ships. Wait, what's going on over here? Another castle drop? I think it's another castle drop, but there's not enough stone, so now he's buying 100 stone for 172 gold here, Joey Pura Vida, and he is looking to even out this game. And Drunk Viper really doesn't have the luck with him on Compass. That's the second game I've casted with Drunk Viper on Compass that has been lost for for Drunk Viper. But yeah, get out of my game castle right here. They're flaring the villagers movement, and boom, goes the castle. That would have completed either way. Okay. Is 1-1, and we'll be going to Drunk Viper's first home map after a quick look at the stats here. So, quite similar fuel age uptime here, but the castle age ahead for the Vikings, unlocking these longboats and just really reclaiming the naval control through the longboats production there. More consistent army production from Joey Pura Vida overall as well. We're hoping Drake Viper would win, so your win over him would look better. Yeah, fair point. Let's go to the draft again. Now we'll show Vikings. Where are they? There they are. Vikings beating the Italians on water. So what do we have for Drunk Viper's home map here? Let's have a look-see. Game 3, Mired is Drunk Viper's first home map. So let's just dive right into it, I think. I'll be right back. I just need to get something to drink. Mired is the map he crushed me on, says David. How do we do this? That's blue and red. Okay, they're starting quite close to each other here. It's yeah. I guess that happens on this map because you just want to rush out into the closest wood line and get your TC up and then start claiming the boars. This could be a fight for boars because they both have horses on the field. They could block each other's boar lures with the horses. That's what we saw a lot with the pros on these maps. Lots of boars in mid lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should make for rather speedy uptimes here. And Drunk Viper, he is not kidding around here. He's with the Mongols. He collects hunt 40% faster. So he could have a lightning fast feudal age here. As the first war is being brought in by Joy Pura Vida with the Cumans already, maybe he's thinking about that second town center, a fast feudal into a second town center to secure some more land control here, like the corner here, for example, with the gold and whatnot. Might actually not be TC-able, but Cumans, they have the fastest cavalry in the game as well, 5, 10 and 15% faster throughout the ages, starting in the feudal age. So that's something that you could play, and they could of course also try to get castles up and claim some map control with the Kipchaks, which basically almost acts like a Chukonu on a horse. Look at that boar just being eaten so fast here. Both with very low idle TC times here, in fact completely similar. But as said, again, the faster food collection of the Mongols, that is going to boost that food income a lot to allow for a presumably quicker feudal age, even if Joey Pura Vida has the access to the boars as well and will not be struggling for food by any means. In fact, it's not on wood at all currently, it's just focusing on food. So could also be planning some real early uptime here with the Cumans for whatever the plan might be. Maybe he wants to go with TC dropping or something. So not taking any chances here, actually luring the boar with 3 villagers for Joey Pura Vida. And that's going to go all the way home, of course. 2 boars at a time here. Heavy emphasis on food here, but I guess maybe you don't need the wood at this point just yet. It seems a very huge investment into wood, though. You are going to need that second building to go up as well, not to mention houses. So with this huge emphasis on food, maybe Joey will forget to build houses or the second building to go up. Oh, look at the sneak. It's almost to be considered lame here by Drunk Vipers. Also sending the horse in between. Oh, but it doesn't go Drunk Viper's way. He's been watching the pros too much here and not getting loom for these long distance lures. Just stick to the boars close to you, Drunk Viper. Come on. He really wants that one. Just an off-topic question, is Persian douche viable in a TG? I've seen it work, but I wouldn't recommend it. But, I mean, Rubenstock and these Finnish guys, they do it on the very highest level, so I guess it is viable. You are incapacitating one player, after all, so might be worth trying out. So, Drunk Viper, losing 1 unit or 1 villager to the Mighty Boar is also with a higher idle TC time, even with the faster fruit income here. Could be housedness. I haven't really been tracking the situation here. They are aware of each other's locations as not the second actually, but the first building is going up for Joey Pura Vida here. So Joey will be needing a lumber camp or some such as well to be able to click the feudal age eventually. He has enough wood for the lumber camp now though, so he could drop that maybe close to the CC, maybe over here. Oh, you got douched in the Trivity tournament. I'm going to have to try and find that game then. That kind of approach can be interesting. Jaguar attack incoming. Oh, ouch! There's Loom though, should be fine. Oh, that's a huge emphasis on gold. 7 gold? What's the plan here? Is it naval Domination. Lost one to the kitty. Ah, I see. Yeah. I was looking at Drunk Viper's stats, but yeah, you both lost one villager to Gaia then, and that should even out the situation. Joey actually going up first here with the humans at 18 villagers, while Drunk Viper is holding off a bit. In fact, Drunk Viper is missing the second building here to go up. And is building the mill in the middle of nowhere just to get that second building up, but I think he's going to go for the berries eventually. Lots of wood here for Drunk Viper. What's he going to use all that wood for? Yeah, that guy in chat knows what he's talking about, David. Here comes the barracks. I guess we might be seeing the Mongol scouts here then. Might not be a bad idea, but also not really benefiting from that fast food income of the Mongols. In theory, I think you could have gone like 17 pop scouts here with food from all the boars in the middle here. It's still a decent uptime for a no-wed start, but Joey is well ahead to the next stage, and it's close to having enough wood to dropping that second TC as well. Could alternatively drop 2 stables and just go complete all ranges and just go complete maniac with the feudal age units here. Yeah, double ranges it is. Probably makes more sense than scouts, as scouts can be quick walled out, whereas archers just shoot over walls, so certainly a valid call here. They're both going heavy on the gold. They're both thinking about the archers then. And don't underestimate the power of a dock here as well. If units just casually stroll over this area and you have some kind of naval presence like demolition ship or these kinds of things, you could blow them up and really even out your, or take an army lead that way, just like a Mangdal would slay a group of archers. A demolition ship could serve the same purpose for any kind of unit that passes on the shallows, but you could of course just go on land as well. Here comes the blacksmith market for Drunk Viper. Must be planning a faster and smoother castle age here. I see stone close to the DC as well, so we might be seeing some Mangodai here at some point. But the double range humans initiative here, that could obstruct any fast castle plans that Drunk Viper may have here. Fletching all the way in for Joey Pura Vida, both ranges producing here as well. Wood and gold balance looking decent for double range archers. You'll want 8 on gold to make sure you can afford the upgrades as well when you're going double ranges, but for now 6 is fine of course. With 3 ranges actually producing here, so then you'll definitely need more on gold. What civ do you favor, Akkal? I favor Mongols big time here, no matter what. Mongols should have been up way earlier to the feudal age, but we see the castle age on the way here, so Drunk Viper is still benefiting from that food income. And in the Imperial Age, Mongols are simply stronger. They have Siege Ram with Drill, they have the Mangodai if you can get to them. They have stronger but not faster hussars than the Cumans, but they have stronger hussars. And Mangodai Slay Kipchak. They simply have stronger stats, and they have the... Actually, they're both lacking the... actually, Cumans lack Bracer, so that's why Mangodai are better. They have more attack. You could even go Cav Archers as the Mongols, because they have Cav Archers that fire faster as well. Not just the Mangodai, but the Cav Archers as well. So you can mass Cavalry Archers, no problem with the Mongols. Looks like Joey Pura Vida is going for extended feudal age here, also dropping the second feudal age TC on the wood here. He's going to mass archers out of 3 ranges and just keep the pressure up here. That could be an issue though, with Mongols reaching the castle age and actually going for the Cav Archers here. Cumans have fast paladin. not really viable in 1v1. Maybe on this map with this much gold, but it takes so long to get to paladins. So long. I could of course say that about Mangudai as well, but not nearly as many upgrades to think about. If you can get to Paladin, yes, of course it's viable here, because the Mongols only to response to a huge mass of Paladins that would be their heavy camels, and they're lacking the last armor as well. Yeah, that's very gold and food dependent for Mongols, so if they're set up for cavalry archers or Mangudai, they're going to struggle to get to the heavy camels. I've heard knights and steppe lancers mixed are a good combo as well, so that's certainly something to consider. Now what we're looking at here is Joey Puravida having the army lead over Drunk Viper. It's successfully idling a lot of Drunk Viper's economy. Look at all the builders here. Some cav archers are moving out, but the economy isn't exactly running for Drunk Viper. It's actually at 27% efficiency only, and the archers are staying safely outside of the TC. So this is some great archer rush by Joey Puravida here, even if he's stuck in the feudal age for a long time. He has the army domination. He's keeping Drunk Viper to some extent of gold, but in the meantime, Drunk Viper has placed the second TC far, far away from the rest, so he's still got gold income. Horse collar is never a bad thing, though. Where did the villagers go? Didn't you have tons of villagers? Oh, they're back in the TC. Wow. This really isn't a very well working economy for Drunk Viper. Is he getting outplayed here by feudal age Cuban archers? He's definitely losing some of them or killing some with the TC fire now, but two TCs running for, well, two TCs up for Joey Puravida. They're not both running. Yeah, it was a smart move of Drunk Viper to move to the side here to secure gold access. That's just not something to expect at this point. I TC that far away, and it's a long walk for the villagers as well, so they've been idling a lot on the way over there. What are even Cuban strengths in it? Past production of the fastest hussars in the game, so hussar raids. And they still get a decent siege. They get siege ram, they get siege onagure, but they don't get siege engineers, so the onagure play isn't really as strong, but siege ram could still be useful. And yeah, the Cuban strength is mobility and raiding for sure. And the fastest paladin in the game, if you can get to them. You know, the steppe husbandry, the Cuban's unique technology. I think it's a cast age tech actually. It gives the Cumans 100% faster production of steppe lancers, light cav, and I think cavalry archers as well. Does 5% paladins matter? Yeah. It basically means they will match the speed of camels, maybe even outrun them. I don't know the stats perfectly, but it matters, and it also makes it easier to catch up with Mangudai or cavalry archers or whatever, so I think it matters, yeah. So these two TCs here of Joey, they're actually keeping a lot of the economy safe. The cav archers can't really raid, so if it had some houses, foundations or walls here as well, then even the gold would be somewhat safe. The camels and heavy cav have the same speed. No, camels they're supposed to be the counter unit, so they are slightly faster, but it's marginal. Very marginal. Only 6 on food for Joey Puravida, so he's stuck in the feudal age here for a long time. Now sending forward archers protected inside the ram here, wants to kill what he thinks is the only TC of Drunk Viper. But will this feudal age push succeed? Builders, they have bonus damage against rams and buildings, so they are yeah, melee bonus, so they are killing rams quickly. Oh, saving the ram actually for Joey here. Could send the villager forward to repair or something, and every time the villagers try to pound away at the rams, the archers are here to stop that from happening, but eventually the rams will be dying anyway because of the villagers' bonus attack against them. Oh, careful, losing some more archers to TC fire here. Joey will definitely need some more food economy here and needs to get to that castle age. Could get to castle age and cap rams with the Cumans here, and the Mongols buildings will struggle for sure. But yeah, also they're both keeping each other busy here, right? Cav archers getting some raids in, but skirmisher defense here to keep that contained, and then the archers forward, always, all the time forcing a reaction of the Drunk Viper here up in the north. But Drunk Viper's armies are increasing as well, and the economy is arguably stabilizing. Some farms, some wood, some gold access down here. And Joey Pura Vida is very much focused on just one area here. And rightfully so, because he has no idea that Drunk Viper has actually made it to the side to relocate. Yeah, exactly. The combats need to be faster because they're supposed to be the counter unit of knights, so you would never be able to catch up if you didn't have faster movement speed. But then the Cumans have a tiny bit faster movement rate, with 15% total in Imperial Age, so that should make a little difference there. We're going for getting the opponent house tactic here, and it might just work here because Drunk Viper is at 43 out of 45 pop here. If another house goes down, then Drunk Viper will actually be housed, but yeah, he's replenishing them. He's sensing that he might get housed, so better rebuild those houses to be on the safe side here. And not lose production as a result of that. Cav archers back raiding here for Drunk Viper, knows that this is where Joey Pura Vida is taking gold. If we idle the gold of Joey, he can't make more archers and rams, so yeah, good strategical call to keep raiding the gold down here, knowing that the archers are forward as well, so there's nothing here to defend this gold. What Joey Pura Vida could have done here was place a defensive tower so that there would be a place to garrison and keep the cav archers away, but of course units could always sit underneath tower fire as well because of the minimum range of towers, so the cav archers might still be able to raid and do damage. Here come the archers. Will they be able to deal with the cav archers here? We don't have bloodlines, so the cav archers only have the generic 50 hit points, but Feudal Age archers, low damage output, even though fletching is in, they only deal 5 damage per shot, and then there's the armor of the cav archers as well, so you'll need a sizable amount of Feudal Age archers to clean up even only 6 cav archers like this. Another TC now on a woodline and stone here for Drunk Viper. He also is also aware of the gold to the side here as a 8 tile gold. We'll be losing one villager to the wildlife here, looks like... Oh, that's close, but not close enough. Another mighty kill for the mighty Gaia here. Going for the production now makes sense. It's tougher to kill the TC with the villagers always pounding it down, but again, idling somewhat Drunk Viper's economy here. Neither player can be said to have a great worker efficiency. In fact, it's better for Drunk Viper now with 2 TCs to the sides here, bringing in more resources, but the overall villager count is even. However, Joey Pura Vida is still stuck in the Feudal Age and might not even make it to the Castle Age here if Drunk Viper is able to stabilize and push with the stronger Castle Age units. More villagers attacking the rams yet again. And again, there's the scouting of Joey in Pura Vida. Could have been better here to just... would have benefited from some scouts here just in general, just to deal with potential enemy skirmishers. Not that it's the case, but at least to just get some more view on the map. Either place some outposts or Or just get some scouts out to get an impression of the situation. Here's the defensive tower. Nice. Joey gets that tower up on the gold, and will at least have a point of refuge closer than the TC to preserve builders here from cavalry raids. Yeah, so the human speed matters, right? And hello to I Will Heal You 12. Long time no see. Hope you're fine. Hope you're doing alright. Really wanting this TC dead, but look at the villagers. They just pound down the ramps. I wonder how many ramps have been going down to villagers this game. It's like 5 or 6 at this point, maybe more. That's it. Joey Puravida stuck in the feudal age. Calls the GG well played at what could be seen as kind of a random point here, but the cavalry investment certainly paying off for Drunk Viper here. It's essentially denying Joey Puravida the food and gold, or yeah, food and gold needed to progress through the ages. So that's where it ends. 2-1 for Drunk Viper now, and we'll be going to the second home map of Joey Puravida. Is there a human flush achievement? I'd prefer doing that with scouts, to be honest. Yeah, ramps can always be battered down by TC fire, Joey, so that's a concern for sure. We'll be moving into game 4 here. Game 4A. Japanese Aztecs on Inundation. And actually, let's fix the sibs here as well. Ooh, Joey is dropping the TC in the middle here. That's not too commonly seen on Inundation, and there aren't even any stragglers here to be taken. They're really far away. Joey is going to struggle for wood, potentially, but I guess it's going to send some builders to build a lumber camp ASAP in the middle here. They start with a horse on this map as well, so they're able to scout some of the area here. Drunk Viper moving out and taking that longer walk. Finds... Oh, it's so lucky here. He doesn't actually see the berries, but the TC is on the woodland and the berries here. Oh, sounds good. I Will Heal You 12. I heard about that tournament. That's good. Sounds like a fun initiative. And work comes first, of course. So Inundation, it's a little bit of deep fish here, but nothing to write home about. Just a few patches. Actually, it doesn't matter because you can't block this. You can't block this area. I guess you could take it as shorefish, long distance shore fishing though, so it's not completely useless. And garbage TC start, and right you are. Not even a single straggler close to here. So, let's bring the restart up. That's going to be the game, game 4B. Same sibs, obviously. And we'll fix the colors again here. Garbage TC start, says Joey Puravida, but it does the exact same thing again. I mean, the food source is nice, though. There's quite a few ibexes close to here, and but there's still a long while to go for the straggler tree. And these builders, they will have to venture far into the mainland to drop a lumber camp or consistent lumber access here. See one house queued after the TC start here, and then I guess 2 builders will go straight for the ibex, and the next few will be going to the sides. Did I actually open the same game? Maybe I opened the same game. Hold on. Oops. I think I opened the same one, so let's just make sure. Let's make sure I have the correct one. Yeah, just bushes. I just want to make sure this is the... Okay, so I had the right one. Let me just speed it up a little bit. Yeah, Ibex situation is definitely better. Definitely better. So I guess that's the plan. Overall, it's Joey Pura Vida's home map after all. So it's going for the middle here, not collecting wood at all currently. But you start with 175 wood after placing your starting TC. So it's not an immediate concern. You'll be able to drop a few houses. In fact, you could almost go to the feudal age without needing to harvest wood if you really wanted to. But eventually you're going to need to move to the sides for consistent wood access. Drunk Viper settling on the right hand side. I don't know if he scouted the berries or not to begin with, but this is a great TC placement for Drunk Viper. He has the woodline, he has the berries right next to TC, and then the boar quite close as well. And another one if he finds it through scouting. Yeah, he sees it, definitely sees it. 2 boars available for Drunk Viper. 3, in fact, if he finds this one as well. Great scouting by Drunk Viper here. While for Joey, it's lots of Ibexes in the middle. And the economy is more compact. You can see from the villager lead that Joey got the TC up way earlier as well. But eventually, wood is going to become an issue, and consistent food as well, as the boars are very much further away for Joey Pura Vida here. Might need to resort to milling the boars or something. Then again, it's 140 wood per ibex, food per ibex, and there's lots of them here, so you don't necessarily need the boars. There's still the ibex to be hunted and allow you to bring in consistent food. See some geese here underneath the TC as well, and bring in quite a few more of them for Joey Pura Vida. There are lots of them all around the outer ring here, so who wins, wildlife or villager? It's close, but I think the jaguar gets this one. Oh, so no lumber camp just yet. Gaia really is has an agenda against Joey Pura Vida for this best of 7 set. It's been losing villager to jaguar for the second time in a row now. Second game in a row, I mean. Fight! There we go. Got that sorted. TC running a bit idle here for Drunk Viper, actually, even with the boar access and everything, is not being able to queue villagers consistently here, so that villager lead is escalating for Joey Pura Vida here. Is 15 to 11 villagers here. And the boar TC trick, yeah, it's fine here. Preserves the villagers' lives and gets the boar in nice and safe there underneath the TC. So, Joey Pura Vida with this TC placement assumes middle control from the very get-go here. Still lots of geese to be eaten here. Is not really micromanaging them now. Doesn't really matter either. Guess the horse actually counts as army? That's interesting. Yeah, so Joey seems to have lost the scout, the horse, to enemy TC here. Could have been auto-scouting, could have been just bad luck, but at least knows the TC location of Drunk Viper and knows where to apply pressure as it goes on. Aztecs, by the way, I didn't talk about the sim picks a lot here, but Aztecs, very gold dependent, these metal civilizations. You need gold for the Eagle Warriors for your arguably best raiding unit, and you need gold, of course, for archers, crossbows, and the militia line as well. So once the gold runs out, you're left with only skirmishers and halberdiers, or in Aztec's case, the pikemen. So so you'll struggle when the gold runs out. Of course, on this map, gold isn't going to run out. I don't think that's ever going to happen with all of the patches of gold here in the middle in the 1v1. But having middle control for the Aztecs is essential, and you want to snag the relics as well, because you get 33% more gold per relic as the Aztecs, so that's one to keep in mind as well. Eagles could be strong on this map though, because this terrain cannot be built on, so you have to go creative to wall in and secure your main base from Eagle raids, and I'm sure with the gold and the middle control here, Joey means to make Eagles at some point. In which case, the Japanese have good counters. They have the samurai from the castles, which create quickly and have bonus attack against most unique units. I don't know if that applies to Eagles, but then also faster attacking militia line for the Japanese, 15% faster attack. So they could go into longswords and champions against Eagles if they are subject to raids. Joey Puravida is keeping the villager lead even all the way to the feudal age here. Look at that, 22 to 20, and Drug Viper didn't even click up yet. This is a massive economic lead for the Aztecs player here, and Aztecs carrying 3 more resources per trip before dropping off from the very beginning of the game. They are also with a strong economic bonus from the very start of the game. So here goes the barracks. I don't know if Joey wants to go for the Eagles straight away. I mean, feudal Eagles, they are a thing. Oh, I'm not even getting loom before clicking up. That's ballsy. But now, barracks is up. It's the archers, it's the Eagles. What's the plan here? It's the market. And it is indeed the Eagle Scouts, which Drunk Viper will be able to react to. He has a barracks in the middle here. Maybe he's been expecting the Eagles all along here from the Aztecs. Assuming some middle presence here. Feudal Eagles, they're nothing special. In fact, when they don't have upgrades, villagers could fight them efficiently. But once you get +1/+1 for the Feudal Eagles, it's more awkward for the villagers to fight them. And yeah, deep power spike of the Eagles as you go up through the ages. I mean, if you get a decent mass of Feudal Eagles out of, say, 2 or 3 barracks, they produce real slowly, so you definitely need more than 1 barrack to make a successful Eagle Scout rush. But as you move on to the next age, you could get into Eagle Warriors. Is it really ballsy to not get loom before feudal, and this is lowered legends and a late receive made there unlikely? Well, he did lose 1 villager to Jaguar. Just saying. So it's not only about enemy aggression either, it's about natural resources units. So yeah, I would usually get... Oh, look at Drunk Viper flexing the Viper skills here. Walling in the weak villager, 7 HP villager, but still subject to attack from some Eagles here. I think Joy will get a kill here. Is it the first blood of the game? No, the villagers survive, and 1 HP woman here. Woman of the hour, and she definitely should be running home into and seek refuge close to the TCE, because otherwise that's going to, yeah. No, she stays to work. She stays to work. It's fine. Defensive tower is up. And Drug Viper is committing to the archers. I think that's fine. There are feudal age eagles from the Aztecs here, but funnily enough, it's a better response to go for the Giant Mass archers rather than to go for the men-at-arms, because men-at-arms are expensive in the feudal age with the 60 food and 20 gold cost, whereas the archers, yes, they are expensive as well, but they are they have the potential of hit and run as opposed to the infantry line units that are struggling to keep up with the speed of the eagles. So having that range, assuming you get a decent bowl of archers, that is good, and get fletching, that is a good response, or that should do just fine against Eagle Scout rushes. The setback of going Eagle Scouts is that they produce so slowly. They're a great mobile raiding unit, especially if you get the upgrades. Here's the defense and cast age, even on the way for Joey Puravida. So, good head start to the cast age. Actually, just reached it here. But, yeah, even with the faster military production of the Aztecs, you'll want at least 3 barracks, I'd say, to confidently mass up Eagles. when you start them in the feudal age like this. First defense is in. And the Eagle Scouts are just committing to scouting for now. Or are they attacking the archers, maybe? Will they get lucky? Will they spot the archers? That might be what Joey is up to here. Now it's just moving about, scouting the... Yeah, it gets a lot faster in the cast age, it's true. But I'd say if you're going for the feudal age Eagles and want to benefit from the power spike of Eagle Warrior and Castle Age upgrades, you want to have more barracks in the feudal age as well to really boost the numbers and have a master raid with. But yeah, you see the production speed is just a lot faster now than it was just a moment ago. These archers, they're looking for... they're looking for places to hit, but actually Joey has scouted the area here, so it's just taking a long way around to find the wood line. And it's going to take a long while before the archers can get there to punish. And with the speed of the Eagles, Joey could easily catch up with Drunk Viper's archers anyway and just clean them up, since Drunk Viper won't be seeing Castle Age anytime soon. Siege Workshop has been added as well. Could use a mangonel to take out villagers and the defensive tower here. And overall, I like the Aztecs' position in this game so far. Keeping some eagles close to the woodland as well. I like that, just in case any attack comes here. Going to chase the horse now. And down goes Drunk Viper Scout, I think. Yeah. So that's one builder down. First eco kill of the game for Drunk Viper, but the Eagles are here to seek revenge. They will be chasing the units here. We need to get those upgrades, so definitely need the +2 defense for the Eagles here to withstand Archer's fire. So upgrades, never underestimate the power of a good, well-timed upgrade. Let's see how the Eagles trade here. They still should have decent pierce armor, 2+1 pierce armor. But they only have feudal age upgrades, so these are basically feudal units fighting each other. The Eagles are outnumbering the archers now, though, so they should be cleaning this up. Gaia blocking the archers, yeah. Gaia messing in again here. Mangonel is out, even a monk here, so starting to collect those relics for Joey Pura Vida, as mentioned. Or looks like it's planning to do that anyway. Actually, only got one of the relics scouted. And the Eagles are doing work. Nice quick walls from Drunk Viper again here. You see where he gets its name from. Walling out one of the villagers though, so I guess the Eagles could get a hit in here. Nope. He's saved. He's fine. Eagle Warrior coming in. Now, it might only be my impression, but I think Blacksmith upgrades should be coming before Eagle Warrior. Let's see the stats though. A little bit more pierce armor, so yeah, I guess that's a difference. Slightly more HP. But with attack upgrades, you would be taking out buildings and walls more quickly. And the defense, you'll withstand the attacks even better. Hello, Bluegill. Look at the armor number, so it's 21 to 4. Drunk Viper will eventually finally be able to click Castle Age here if both buildings are up, and they are indeed. But why isn't he clicking? There's the Castle Age click. Yeah, it's true. Assuming gold control from the very beginning of the game, pushing Drunk Viper off gold here, which means no crossbows for Drunk Viper, no militia line units. You can't counter Eagle's play if you don't have access to gold, because you need knights, you need long swords, something like that. Even crossbows would be half decent if you get a large enough group, but without gold, that's not going to happen. And gold access that is lost by Drunk Viper now. Maybe you should just tap out and call it, because that Castle Age isn't going to give him too much. He wants to get a Castle Lap though, so if he gets a Castle Lap in the middle, could definitely claim some gold. But how are you going to get the Castle Lap when there are 22 Eagles and some monks out on the field and even snagging the relics here? Joey Pura Vida is putting up a show here now. pushing the TC with Mangonel. I mean, the Castle Age is going to kick in here, not even a need for repairs, but lots of idle eco-career worker efficiency down to 21% here. Joey should outpost the North Gold. Maybe. Just to get some idea. Villagers, power here, fighting siege weapons again. That's Villagers' bonus attack against siege doing the work here. No repair villager to save that Mangonel, but of course with the exposed villagers, the Eagles will fight them down. Still lacking the upgrades here, but I don't think it matters. The Eagle Mass is already at 27 here for the Aztecs here, and even though Castle Age is in, there's not much for Drunk Viper to do here. He has the market, could buy some food, but resources, economy, everything is idled. There's not even enough stone for a castle. It's actually TCing the south here and dropping barracks. Is it plan to sell stone for gold? Maybe that could work. Short term, that could work because the market rates are decent for stone. However, we saw Joey Pura Vida get redemption as well, so if he pulls some monks over here, he could convert the barracks and just to dominate that way. Ooh, archers. I didn't see the archers here. He sent another wave of archers to the wood line. But Joey Pura Vida barely even needs wood. He needs wood for houses maybe, but could use the market and trade here like forever. Drunk Viper calls the GG. Joey Pura Vida evens it out to 2-2 with the Eagle domination play here. I don't know what he got a redemption for. Maybe to convert enemy defensive siege or something. Or just a general flex, a way of spending the gold. It also gives the monks more hit points. Every monastery technology gives 5 more hit points to the monks, so might as well get some of them. To get more tanky monks. Only player in the Castle Age this game is Joey Pura Vida. And Drunk Viper did make it to the Castle Age eventually, but if you look at the population there, it's 32 villagers to 47 and a lot of idle economy, so there really was no way back without gold. Why not Sanctity then? Because redemption is cooler. So that's Aztecs winning that one over the Japanese. Drunk Viper's second home map coming up. Let's see what is bringing us. Boundary Brawl is next, and we have Chinese versus Malians. Like steel production buildings, but they didn't really have them. Ah, I see. So, Boundary Brawl it is, both players starting in the middle, and middle always visible. So, if you try to snag elephants, it's going to be completely visible. Joey Pura Vida going for the dock immediately as well. He can do so with the Malians, because with the Malians, the wood discount, you can place TC, dock, and a house, and you'll be able to pop out a fishing ship immediately. So, they're going to fight over the elephants here, possibly. But looking at the elephant placement, they are behind Joey's TC, so it's not going to be easy to steal those. Okay, this had to be a restart. These elephants are going to kill both the villagers because there's no TC to hide. Oh, nice. Okay, did the house trick there, actually. So, Drunk Viper, he is flexing Viper style here. He is going for the faraway elephant because he knows that that TC is not complete. But this villager does not have loom. This could be too ambitious here. Joey Pura Vida is trying to catch up with this villager, and the TC does complete in time. But not in time for the villager to make it back. And yeah, that has to be a re. That's one villager down. Re! I thought so. So let's see what the restart brings for this one. Here we go. So, elephant, kind of lameable over here for Joey. It's far enough away from Drunk Viper's TC to safely steal it. Yeah, it would have been fun with a Mysterio style. It could still happen, David. It could still happen. This is the restart, but they both spent their restarts now, so there might not be any way back. Oh. Oh, block. Wait, why did you shoot that? Why? Why? Okay. Oh. Now I understand the Chinese pick here. You pick Chinese for the instant loom that you will be getting once your TC is up, but no TC, no loom, so not an advantage for Chinese just yet, and they are fighting over the elephants. Alright, that's going to be another dead villager for the Drunk Viper. That's going to be another villager down. 2 elephant, 2 villagers dead! Nightmare start, just like that. The Chinese, the Chinese 3 extra villagers advantage is evening out. Look at that, TC is up, but now only 4 villagers for Drunk Viper. He almost loses another one here, but yeah, gets the elephant. It's fine. Eco KD 2002. Oh, yeah. Better not get too ambitious here on the start of Boundary Brawl. The elephants are tanky beasts. They attack so quickly. They can kill villagers just like that because of the fast attack rate. But yeah, we've sort of stabilized here. Drunk Viper still keeps that villager lead, but does not start with food, being the Chinese. But because of the force dropping for the elephant and getting the elephant early enough here, Drunk Viper is able to keep production at a decent level here. TC is still running idle for a bit though, and the villager is not quite working here. What's going on? What's going on here? Oh, he's too busy. He's too busy trying to lane the elephant. Oh no, Drunk Viper, what are you doing? That's so much villager idle time there just to try and steal an elephant. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Horrible start for the Chinese here. But... oh... what a game! Now Joey Puravida tries the TC trick on the elephant, but results in shooting the elephant, so the distress of Drunk Viper trying to chase the elephant, steal the elephant, the TC it kills the elephant, and no elephant food for Joey Puravida. What a mess of a game to begin with here. Ridiculous. However, Joey Puravida is establishing a solid lead here now. Drunk Viper does not have a dock. Joey Puravida does. He only has 1 fish, but he's making a second one, and he has 11 eco units to 6. So this is looking very nice for Joey Puravida on what is Drunk Viper's home map. But a lot of things can happen, of course. It's 12 to 7 eco, yes, but we've seen similar eco numbers develop into different games as the games go along. So nothing settled here for sure. Here comes a house at the perfect meal spot for Joey Puravida, but yeah, I'm not judging. There's food income from the water, no worries. Naval control plays a role here. There's definitely lots of deep fish to be taken here, and if you are Joey Puravida here, you'll be able to get up nice and early over the Chinese, given the disaster start of Drunk Viper. So there is a chance that Joey here can claim naval control before Drunk Viper can get to the next stage at all. And if it does so, then Drunk Viper will never be able to access the wood lines out on the sides, and that is basically GG, because these straggler trees in the middle, they're only going to last that long. This is 2,300 wood right here, unless there's extra wood on these trees, and it's not. It's 100 wood on the stragglers here. Oh, getting a villager there, maybe getting 2. And okay, speaking of villager count, it's still 18 to 12, but that's 2 villager kills for Drunk Viper with the TC alone. So, greedy build. So, yeah, evening out a little bit here, but not having a dock, it still hurts the Chinese. And Drunk Viper, of course, can't dock either, lacking 50 starting with us, the Chinese. Those stragglers lameable. No, that's not an option anymore, I think, to lame stragglers. Or maybe it is. Not sure if they'll think about that, though. So, 5 fish, 15 builders. It's both villager and general eco-lead for Joey Pura Vida here. It has 2 buildings, has the dock and the mill, so once that food count reaches 500, Joey Pura Vida can go up. While Drunk Viper is moving out now, we'll be finding some place to put a lumber camp here. So it's going to have wood access, but still that feudal age transition, it should be behind, and if not behind in uptimes, definitely still behind in economy due to the fishing ship investment of Joey here. Yep. Nope. What? Why did it cancel? What? Why cancel the feudal age? Oh no, I want to go 20 pop up and said, you mind swapping sides in the overlay? Oh. Swapping sides? What do you mean? I have no idea how to do that. I can do that, but I've been giving Joey consistently the blue and Drunk Viper the red, so I would prefer to keep the colors consistent rather than than mixing up the colors so that blue is always on the left and red is always on the right. So this way, Joey Pura Vida is always blue and Drunk Viper is always red. And the placement up here, that's depends on who's hosting the game, so I can't really change that unless I mix up the colors, but then that's, in my opinion, is more confusing. Yeah, I can't swap the players. That's out of my control. That's defined by who hosts the game. Unless there's some way to... No, there's no way to switch that. As far as I know. So the feudal age is in, and Joey Pura Vida, if he mined some gold here, could almost go straight for the cast age. I don't think that was the plan. I'm sort of assuming to see some naval investment. Are we going to see a barracks and scouts here, something like that? Towers would make sense as well. Archers would be perfect. But now that... yeah, is 7. Ah, that's 7. 9 is... ooh... Drunk Viper also has dock now, but he's obviously not in the feudal age yet. He's been lacking some buildings, dropping a second dock, so he wants to claim naval control. He realizes the importance of denying opponents' expansion to the sides through naval control in the middle. Finally on the way to the feudal age, while Joey Pura Vida might as well just go for the cast age here, drop a market, drop a blacksmith once the wood allows, and just go up, because there's so much food and gold here. The food eco kind of indicating that scouts would be a good idea, but you'll need a barracks and a stables for that, so maybe not. Naval control is still an option though, as long as you're mining gold. Committing 1 fishing ship to scouting here, I like that. Seize 2 docks. Might consider a second dock then to be able to take the fight. However, if you get to the castle age and get to the stronger ships, that's an option as well. Really feels like speeding up the castle age here would benefit Joey Pura Vida a lot, because then you could start siege pushing the middle and you could deny Drunk Viper the castle age or even the feudal age if you're up quickly enough, because you could just siege down this TC and really delay things of the opponent. But yeah, resources, they have to be spent somehow. And food, having this much food in the fuel age without making use of it into like scouts, that's not really working into your favor. Maybe consider moving some of the berry pickers to gold or to wood or whatever. Here comes the market. At least that's 1 out of 2 buildings needed to go up, and once the blacksmith is up as well for Joey, I'm sure we'll be seeing that Castle Age click. In the meantime, though, Drunk Viper has been given all the time in the world to stabilize here after that horrible start. Idle TC time is still much higher, but that's back to the earlier times. Galley investment now out for Drunk Viper, and he's going to start punishing the fish of Joey Pura Vida. That doesn't hurt a lot at this point, though. 1533 food, that's more than enough to go to the Castle Age and even pump out some knights. And speaking of Castle Age, there's the click. So the blacksmith is up as well now. So 4 fishing ships for Joey Pura Vida. Aside from the fact that this is giving Drunk Viper middle control, I don't think it's a big deal. Joey can easily just use the excess food to go into a land boom. Instead, just allow Drunk Viper to keep making the galleys, because this delays the Castle Age of Drunk Viper and allows for a stronger Castle Age push for Joey Pura Vida. Each and every galley, that's just delaying Drunk Viper further. With Castle Age kicking in, Joey can start pushing the TC in the middle, or push with cavalry on land, because there's no TC here to flee into for the villagers, right? So if you go cavalry or even archers like crossbows over here, there's not much Drunk Viper can do about that. So, Castle Age, 9 seconds away now for Joey. Does he want to siege push the middle? He doesn't really have the wood and gold for that. Could use the market to adjust though. But he is attempting to reclaim water instead. I can't help but feel... I mean, naval control is not to be underestimated here, but it's already significantly behind here. But there's War Galley coming in though. And that means that fire ships will be able to take out the Feudal Age galleys of the Chinese fairly easily. Chinese, however, have cheaper demolition ships, so that's something to consider here as well, that they will be able to deal with fires fairly easily. 2 galleys out, dangerously close to the dock, but the galleys can easily just hit and run against fire galleys, so it's not necessarily winning. But pinch maneuver here from Joey Pura Vida, galleys coming from both sides, and if they chase these galleys properly and not allow them to hit and run, they'll still clean this up. Maybe Joey is actually reclaiming water here with the fire galley investment. Drunk Viper also going up, finds some stray rhinoceros there for some food boost. But he's going to struggle against the Malian's fire ships here, I think. Might lose the fish, only 2 fish here though, not a significant loss to be considered. But with the mix of war galleys and fire ships, Joey Pura Vida is definitely reclaiming the middle presence here. That wood and gold though, can't help but feel like that would be better spent just sieging this TC in the middle and forcing Drunk Viper to relocate. And he'll also be losing potentially these 9 builders in the middle as a result of a push like that. But that's just me thinking, when they're already that close, might as well just go for it. You can't hide away that, of course, since the middle is always visible. You can't hide the fact that you try to go for a siege push on the TC. No land armies for Joey just yet, second TC coming up, but no barracks, no nothing for the Malians, only naval investments here. But taking out the docks of the Chinese, look at the demos in the queue, so many demos. If Joey isn't paying attention here, the fire galleys can actually go down to demo shots here fairly easily, especially if Drunk Viper is able to get the war galley upgrade. But we'll see, maybe the dock dies before that actually happens here. Last galley goes down. Drunk Viper now left with only demos in this stock. The fire galleys are out, but that should be no match for the fire ships of the Malians. Still a convincing eco lead for Joey Pura Vida, has extended the land economy as we see. Third TC going up now. Not really any significant farm eco just yet, but I guess we'll be seeing more farms being added in not too long here, so we can keep these TCs producing. Yeah, no more naval production from Drunk Viper at all here. Both the docks will be going down, but is investing into land economy now. Found a nice TC spot to the side here, something that Joey Pura Vida probably hasn't scouted. And will be able to claim some gold and wood over here until that's punished by any kind of land aggression. Blue could make a siege workshop on the left, make the rams there, then roll the rams into the middle. Yeah, that's true. That's a way to sneak the siege push in. But it's really slow though to move siege that way. But yeah, that would be an option. So Joey now 54, eco to 38 here. Little surprised. Oh, they're sharing the berries over here. Oh, I love these palisade gates by Drunk Viper. It means that when these villagers are dropping off the food, they might actually be hit by TC fire if he's looking. Ah, he's looking! Brilliant. Oh, gets one villager at least. Nice. Worth the idle time. Masterpiece by Drunk Viper. And he really likes these sneak TCs to the sides here. True Nomad style, just relocating, re-booming in hidden places, while relying on the opponent just keeping the aggression focused on one place. So, Knights with +2 are out now for Joey Pura Vida. Nothing too crazy in the food gold department just yet. You'll see the eco setup here is lots of builders of wood, probably due to a TC gathering point set to wood. So with, say, put 15, 20 of these lumberjacks to food and gold instead, and suddenly you have a fluent economy to start pumping out knights out of several stables. The knights are still doing work though, forcing Drunk Viper to relocate, and they might very well just get this TT up as well. It's not over by any means for the Chinese here. If these TTs go up and Drunk Viper is able to keep that food economy rolling and establish some farm eco as well, then these TCs will provide a healthy villager replenishment and eventually might be able to take the villager lead over Joey as well. Good usage of the cavalry mobility here by Joey Pura Vida though. Chasing. No, where are you going? Keep chasing. Yeah, anyway. Tracking villager movement, seeing the expansion here, does not know about the TC to the side here for now, but the knight is running. There is all builders going in this direction. We'll confirm that there is indeed a TC over here for Drunk Viper as well. So as the knight's mass increases, Joey will eventually be able to dive TCs as well and deny this side expansion from Drunk Viper. Kind of wasting some lights here, but still idling TCs, which is not by any means a waste of military usage. Gold eco has been extended here, still a bit too few on food to justify multiple stables, but I see more stables going up here, and as more farms are seeded as well, that's going to allow for triple or more stables production of knights. And we have a cast drop. Feels it's almost a bit on the passive side here. I'd love to see this castle right in the face of Drunk Viper's TC here, provided that you have army to cover it, of course. But if this castle goes up, you'll be able to pull back to the castle for refuge every time Drunk Viper chases you with whatever units. TC number 4 going up for Joey Pura Vida as well. So TCs and castle, arguably a lot more map control for the blue player here, and a healthy 30 eco lead as well. Drunk Viper going into the camels, good call against the cavalry investment of Joey. Generally better eco usage of Drunk Viper here, keeping the, aside from the gold, keeping the economy. Spending the resources, I should say, making camels, making builders out of 4 TCs, mainly in boom mode here for Drunk Viper. Might not be a bad idea. We'll be able to potentially catch up with Joey here, at least until that TC number 4 is up, and Joey gets to queue builders out of 4 TCs as well. So the castle completes. Drunk Viper tries for a castle to tower to deny the castle drop here, but that's not happening. And now some precious gold denied to the side here by Joey Pura Vida. A bit lacking in the scouting department here for Joey Pura Vida. There's a TC here, there's a TC here, or there's about to be a TC here for Drunk Viper. So that's something you need to use that cavalry mobility to figure out. Middle control definitely in Joey's hands, which means that Drunk Viper should have a hard time keeping this economy running. This TC is essentially useless at this point, but there aren't really much resources left to be taken either. More stables going up, and 36 on food now for Joey Pura Vida. Should be the first one reaching Imperial Age here for sure with this kind of setup, depending on the general spending on food. It's actually buying food. Might be planning for Imperial Age already to start trebbing down this location over here and then pushing the north side, but once again, the right-hand side here, not scouted. Drunk Viper's 2 TCs here, so that's some healthy eco running for Drunk Viper in the red here. Ooh, another castle for Joey Pura Vida here, but this seems ambitious to say the least. It's right on top on the blacksmith here. That's no concern though, you could just drop it here instead, as long as Drunk Viper doesn't have army to deny it, and it's only got 3 camels. That's not nearly enough to deny a castle drop if there are some units here to contest that. Imperial Age for Joey Pura Vida, which means that this castle, even though it went up, should be going down rather quickly again to trebuchets for the Malians player. Ooh, camels are spotting the villager movement. No military here to defend this castle drop, and the castle, alas, is on the blacksmith foundation. These are, oh, never send in villagers unprotected to drop castles in blind spot like this. That's great value from Drunk Viper here to get to snipe so many villagers with camels alone. Camels, no upgrades whatsoever though, so you could easily fight that with the knights, having the higher mass of knights here. Ranges getting denied here as well, and more stables to go up here for Joey Pura Vida. Still in a good spot, all things considered, and relocating the castle to the spot mentioned earlier. That's still going to deny this TC, and if Fletching and Bodkin comes in at some point, that's also going to deny the gold income. So Joey establishing some solid map control now. Look at all the blue across the map here. The only weak spot being the fact that Drunk Viper has economy running freely to the right here, but it is behind, however you look at it, by almost 40 villagers at this point. A defensive tower to deny the castle drop, and now garrisoning the tower. Maybe this castle doesn't complete. So where are Joey's armies to defend the castle drop? That's a bit unfortunate. This castle stays unbuilt. But the overall military situation is still well ahead. Military economy, better population overall. 60 pop lead for Joey Pura Vida here. Now sending more villagers to complete this castle. Drunk Viper will not be able to wall that foundation in for sure. Trebuchets in queue over here to deal with the one and only defensive castle of Drunk Viper. And the cavalry is sent in here to assist as well, to get some raids down with cover fire from the castle. Stables everywhere. At some point, Joey will be able to afford Farimba as well, the Malian's unique tech in the Imperial Age. That's going to give cavalry plus 5 attack. But no attack upgrades to set forging just now coming in. Good raids though. Drunk Viper at a really rough spot here though. He's not struggling for gold by any means, and he still has the position to the right here, but he's doesn't have any military whatsoever. And with the opponent being in the Imperial Age and able to push with trebuchets here, then you just can't withstand that with 0 military. Half the villagers, no military. Joey takes another win. And we're up to 3-2 for the blue player here. But yeah, naval fighting, first thing happening on this map. A big circle of water in the middle, so that's something they need to address, of course. Joey Puravida had a lot of momentum here with that much earlier feudal age to claim that middle position and even deny Drunk Viper to expand to the sides, but Drunk Viper was able to get to the sides and stabilize for a bit, but honestly with that nightmare start for Drunk Viper, Joey Puravida was always in a good spot to keep that economy lead and just close out the game with an earlier imp and larger army mass. So well played to Joey on what was essentially Drunk Viper's home map. Let's find game 6. So Grapple is the next one. It's Celts versus Indians for this one. Let me just clock the civilizations used here as well. Chinese losing that one to Malians. And next we have Celts versus Indians. Match point indeed. It's Joey's last home map, I believe. So he needs to win this one to stay in the competition for the winning title. Let's... oh, what's happening? Let's switch it up here again. Joey gets the blue, Drunk Viper gets the red. Not the Viper yellow, unfortunately. We need to be able to distinguish the players. Transport ship start again. Again, naval control in the middle will be important. There's lots of deep fish here to be taken. Lots of gold all the way around the map, woodlands as well. Let's see for the starting spot. Joey seems to be wanting to TC this area with stone and wood. Maybe he'll find his way to the gold. No, he's going for the stone. Joey loves his castles, so might as well just secure stone from the very get-go. Drunk Viper with the Indians here. Why Indians? Well, the answer lies in the shorefish. So, shorefish. 200 shorefish in each of these patches here. Shorefish is the second fastest food income in the whole game after Mongols hunt, 40% faster hunt. And Indians, they collect shorefish 10% faster. So that's why you want to capitalize on that without picking Indians on this map. Lots of fish to be collected. You could just mill these spots here and not need to seed farms until late Castle Age. Drunk Viper has kind of a meh draft left with 2 camel civs and Malay against Korea as the most cabby civ left for Joey. Yeah, but Indians is great on this map though. You could play Indians cab archers with success here and you have this food boost from the puddles of water that will benefit you greatly. Going for a dock here as well, instant dock. And going to get those fishing ships out nice and early. Goes for both the players here. Joey Puravida with the Celts. He's collecting wood faster, so it's easier. He'll probably get to the first fishing ship a tiny bit earlier. No horse to scout on this map, so they have to resort to pigs for that purpose. And actually, Joey just missed that war unless he saw it earlier on. Yeah, he's gonna see it now that it steps out of the fog of war. So idle thesis on the lower side here. No mill on the shorefish yet for the Indians, but he's shorefishing the dock position here, so that's also going to bring in food at a quick pace here. Focusing on wood to begin with, to be able to get more fish out, I think that makes sense. It's the case for both players, however. Joey is about to get housed here, he's getting Loon to avoid the housed nest, but will be housed for a little bit regardless. If he starts queuing... Oh no, not really actually, it's just a... house finishes just in time there. First fishing ship in the queue for Joey as well. And yeah, they're both mainly committed to wood here to begin. That's actually a nice shorefish spot close to the TC here for Joey, so you could easily mill that later on for some food boost. It's still fast, even if you're not the Indians. And then there's the boar as well. What's the boar situation for Drunk Viper? Does he know about the boar over to the side? It does. And did not scout the one in the back here, but it's not a big deal. Indians could still just take the shorefish. So it's 2 fish versus 3 fish here, slight equal lead for Drunk Viper. However, Drunk Viper is slightly behind the actual villagers. Maybe got the TC up a little bit later. It has to do with the starting position of the town center and the idle TC situation, of course. They've been using their transport ships to scout the middle area as well, so they know the location of the docks. They have confirmed that the other player has docked, so they know that they need to contest the naval situation ASAP once they reach the feudal age, just to make sure that the opponent doesn't get free fish boom out and about. So still no sign of a feudal age click here for either player. It's the mill is up for Drunk Viper, so you can see the efficiency of the food income for the Indians here. They've both been milling the fish actually a lot more on the mill. The Joey isn't even taking the boar. Maybe missed that as it passed into the shroud here, or the fog of war. Fish situation seems somewhat similar. One more for the Celts, but stopped producing at 5 fish. Kind of makes sense. You don't necessarily want to overinvest into fish until you know you're controlling the naval situation. Some house foundations going up here as well to secure this fish and to deny entry of any melee or ranged units from this side. And IDT's time actually lower for the Celts here, so better, more consistent villager production from the TC for Joey, and I think I jinxed that, just said that because now it stops. But this could also be that Joey thought he was able to click up here to force dropping. There it is, feudal age all the way for both players, only 3 seconds apart this time. So are we going to see a second dock for either of the players here? Joey is scouting in. In fact, they both are, just to get some idea of the fish investment here. It's 5 fishing ships for either player, so they're both just holding off any further fish investment until they know they are in control of the naval situation. So, Joey Paravida is the only one that's gone to gold, actually. So what's Drunk Viper's play here? Does he want to go, excuse me, straight for the Castle Age? I mean, no gold, that means no naval investment. So, but Joey must be having plans to contest water here, having... Excuse me. Having gone to gold already. Here comes the range, okay. Okay, they're both going for land aggression here. It's Drunk Viper with the semi-forward stable for the scouts here. And it's the range for the Celts player. So archers for the Celts. Fire galley in the making though, so yeah, definitely committing a little bit to the fire here. These villagers could probably just place a mining camp here if Drunk Viper wants to go for gold. But it is indeed the scouts. Will the scouts accomplish anything here though? It's not much left until Joey Puravida is fully walled here. Houses going up on this side. This is the only area the scouts can pass through, and they certainly can be annoying, but it's only just a couple of quick walls and gates here for Joey Puravida to keep the scouts out as well. Maybe a bit greedy walling this early on, but once he sees the scouts moving in, I'm sure he'll speed up the walling process. Fire galley has completed. Might as well just send it out because there's nothing here to engage. You could kill the transport ship even to delay scouting. Ooh, overdrop. You need to react, woman. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna plug that gap. Archers in the making. Drunk Viper will probably scout that at some point with the mobility of the scouts here. He's finding another point of entry, and yeah, now we'll see the scouts. Archers, of course. The scouts should be winning this because the archers, even with the hit and run, they don't have fletching yet. So when they just stand still like this, yes, the scout will be taking damage, but the scouts have higher HP than the archers by far, so they'll trade better. And also, scouts only cost food, archers cost wood and gold, so that's definitely a win for our red friend. So Drunk Viper, almost fully walled here, could try to lure the scouts out into the ice here as well to get a demolition hit in, but needs to think about that to make that an option. Looking at the water investment, however, Joey Puravida is taking out the enemy dock. Funnily enough, it's not really taking out the fish here, so Drunk Viper is the only one with eco kills so far. But yeah, he's gonna chase the fish now. That's one down. And transport ships, yeah, good call. Market for Drunk Viper looks like Castle Age will be on the menu here. The scouts are going to be annoying as heck as well, unless Joey Puravida flexes some serious quick wall skills here. No upgrades for the scouts yet, otherwise if you get the defense for the scouts or something. As long as the scouts don't have defense, you could fight them with villagers. Yeah, he only has one way in through the TC, that's right. Or it's about to be blocked over here. But still getting the value. The scouts will be trapped. In fact, we're completely trapping the scouts here. Just another layer of walls here, and the scouts can barely escape. And now the army is coming here to clean up the scouts. However, behind this, Drunk Viper is going to the Castle Age. Almost... yeah, fletching is coming in. It's going to be the Cow Archers follow-up here in the Castle Age for Drunk Viper. Good job on taking out the fish from Joey Pura Vida. Is establishing an equal lead even after having lost villagers to the raids. Still keeps a villager lead, but that's because Drunk Viper is also halfway to Castle Age and is idling the TC to get there. Scouts being cleaned up. No upgrades on scouts, but they've been causing a lot of mischief and killing 5 villagers already. Finally a farm snipe as well. And is there a way out? Maybe here? Ah, they're trapped. Okay, so these spears will be getting some hits. Garrison the TC, and these scouts should be going down to TC fire here. So the scouts finally cleaned up, but behind that, the Castle Age is already in power of the Indians. On this map, TC and Cav Archers, double range Cav Archers, immediately producing here. Joey, however, has walled up, and the Cav Archers should not. Wait, how did these guys get out? Is there a hole here? Sorry, just a second. I need to see how they passed through here. Oh, they were already outside. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, so the walls are in play for Joey Pura Vida. That should keep the Cav Archers away. A little bit of exposed wood sources here, but there's wood and gold in the back, and shorefish, so Joey should be fine against the Cav Archer raids for now. Could go into Scorpion defense with the Celts. Celts fire faster, the Siege fires faster. But yeah, Joey sure loves the Feudal Age aggression here. I appreciate that. It's a while to go for the Castle Age, so it's full-on Feudal Age here for Joey Pura Vida for now. Dog finally going down, but behind all this, the fish has been working freely for Drunk Viper, so bringing in lots of free food there until the dock goes down, and you could always redock, of course. Here comes the Siege Workshop as well. Cavalry Archers on the move. Indians get fully upgraded Cavalry Archers, so that's certainly a viable long-term choice. See some exposed villagers on the woodland here that the Cav Archers could get, but there's a juicy amount of Celts Archers here for Joey Pura Vida to defend as well. Castle Age now on the way. That is 20 Archers and counting to become potential crossbows here, but hit and run for the Cav Archers with Bodkin presumably. Oh no, Bodkin yet, just fetching armor first. That's a bit surprising, even though they will withstand more Feudal Age Archers attack, of course. I'm expecting to see a mangonel or something added here as well, or maybe a ram just to break through for the raids. But now, as of this moment, Joey Pura Vida really will want to not take any engagements against the Cav Archers, try to avoid them, keep the Archers away, get crossbow, and we'll be looking at a lot better trades against the Cav Archer mass. Having the naval control, we could always try and lure the Cav Archers into the naval area as well and get some demolition ship hits in. I keep saying that, but it's true. If you are able to lure them onto the icy terrain here and the opponent is a little bit forgetful, you could get a big blast in. Breaking through here, able to move through, and Cav Archers on the move now to get some massive raids in on the Celtic economy. But the armies are being pulled back as well. Joey is in the Castle Age any moment now. We'll be getting crossbow Bodkin without any problem with resources here. Maybe just sell some food for gold. And queue the upgrades, proper upgrades. Drunk Viper will be forced to escape here. Might lose some Cav Archers along the way, but it's going to get out before the upgrades, I believe. Oh, here comes the mangonel. Joey Pura Vida doesn't see the mangonel. This could be fatal if Drunk Viper gets a good hit in here. Okay, good army control by Joey here. Good army control again, dodging the mangonel shot, even trying to focus it out with the crossbows here. A dangerous move, but he gets it! Nice! Good army control by Joey Puravina. They're microing down the Mangonel with the crossbows and now chasing the Cav Archers. It's 3 TCs to 1 though, so Drunk Viper should be catching up in villagers here. And now with that kind of investment, assuming that the TCs are producing, and they are indeed. In the meantime, Joey Puravida is going for the defensive siege workshop. The score is switching up and down all the time. These guys are both good at massing their armies and not taking unnecessary fights. This, however, is very dangerous with the crossbows, but Joey is paying attention to the armies constantly here, sees the Mangonel popping out and is not allowing the Mangonel to get a big splatter shot in on the crossbow mats here. Triple ranges crossbows now for the Celts. I mean, long term you can't really play crossbows with the Celts, or you can, but you won't benefit from any Imperial Edge upgrades. You don't get Bracer, you don't get Arbalest. So let's see what this mass of crossbows can accomplish here. Idling TCs for sure. Indian builders, they have a discount as well. 5, 10, 15 and 20% discount throughout the game, so it's less of a concern for Indians to lose villagers. They're just so cheap to replenish. Defensive Siege Workshop is going to be Scorpion defense here, maybe. Joey has mined enough stone for a castle as well. Will drop a TC, and where's the castle gonna go? Maybe he wants it offensively here. He does have the crossbows to defend a castle drop here. Oh, get the demo! Make some demos, please! Could take out all the Cav Archers with 2 demos here. Defensive castle goes up, but at what cost? The Cav Archers will be sniping some villagers along the way here. They don't have ballistics yet, so it's a bit harder. You could actually micro the villagers away from arrow fire when ballistics isn't in. The castle goes up, so the Cav Archers need to move away. Good defensive move of Joey Puravida here. Crossbow's doing work here. The Eco KD is much higher for Drunk Viper with the Cav Archers, and is also establishing a villager lead because of all those skills. The idle TC is way better for Joey Puravida though. Only 1 minute 18 seconds compared to Drunk Viper's 18. So if Joey gets some villager kills here, he's easily going to even out the villager situation here against the Indians. Has to try and focus down some Scorpions here though, and that's apparently harder than focusing down Mangonels when there's 2 Scorpions like this. Good Scorpion micro by Drunk Viper as well, finding the small groups of crossbows here to trade well. Cav Archers increasing in mass now, 20 Cav Archers. There's the Scorpions and Mangonels for Drunk Viper as well to assist the Cav Archers in their efforts. Will allow to push through maybe here, because the castle is over here, so you can still push through on this side and take out TCs and economy over here. It's Joey Puravida forced up into a corner now as Drunk Viper is expanding and claiming more of the neutrals to the sides here. Yeah, Drunk Viper seems to love the Cav Archers. Very nice and consistent production here as well. Ballistics on the way. That's one he was hesitant to get in one of the earlier games, I believe, so that's a good one. Joey Puravida with the extended crossbows play did not get the ballistics, but of course, long term was planning to go into a switch either way. He's in fact making Wall Raiders now, which, when they are elite, they should be quite alright against even against range units. But Celt faster firing siege can be deceptive as well. Oh, the Cav Archer, the split micro from Drunk Viper there, evading, avoiding losses big time there. It's 55-23 KD here. It's some solid Cav Archer performance by the red player. Still fishing in the middle, so that's some welcome food income for Joey Pura Vida. Drunk Viper, floating lots of gold, you know, even with that consistent armor production. Getting hand cart, what's the food situation like? Has been seeding a lot of farms as well. Must have Imperial Age in mind here. Could eventually start using some of the gold to trade for Imperial Age as well, which will unlock heavy cav archer, bombard cannons, hand cannoneers against the Wold Raiders maybe. I think Wold Raiders, let's see their Pierce armor. It's nothing special, especially when they don't have anything else than the Feudal Age armor. Yes, they'll focus down the siege, but the cav archers will slay the Wold Raiders no problem. So I don't think that's the ideal unit to go for here. Uh-oh. Never stay close to a Celt Siege workshop with a flag on. This... oh... Oh, when are the mangonels going to pop out here? Are they just waiting for the cav archers to advance, or what's going on here? 3 mangonels now against 2 of the Celts here, but Drunk Viper, sorry, Joey isn't really reacting here. When the Siege Workshop is weakened enough, the mangonels will pop out. That's a 1 for... almost a 1 for 2, but cav archers will easily take out that last 1 HP of the mangonel. Shouldn't be a problem. So, Siege Workshop going down, Castle going up to the side here, Joy Pura Vida forced further and further up into the corner here. This is going towards the Game 7 here. Yep, the castle goes up. Drunk Viper could easily buy his way to the Imperial Age now, just missing 400 food to go up. Might as well just wait for the generic food to kick in as well, shouldn't be an issue. Just stop queuing builders, go imp. Does he even have a market, actually? Maybe not, maybe not. But yeah. Just idle a bit and go imp here. I think the 130 villagers is decent enough at this point. Here come the Wold Raiders again. Now they have still only have the Feudal Age armor, so they're missing some crucial upgrades here, and they will be slain by the cav archers here. Crossbow, not the worst idea ever against cav archers, but when the cav archers are outmassing them, of course the cav archers will be winning with their hit and run potential, and now with siege weapons joining in as well to diminish the numbers. Drunk Viper 27, Joy Pura Vida 23. But look at the map situation here. It's like 10% of the map for Joy Pura Vida here. Some castles up, yes, but now that Drunk Viper is on the way to the Imperial Age, these castles will be melting to forward trebs, maybe forward bombard cannons as well, as Indians get that. Having ballistics in for Drunk Viper means that the university is up, so chemistry in the Imperial Age shouldn't be an issue either. Yeah, that's a beautiful castle by Drunk Viper to the side here. It's sort of allowing Drunk Viper to push with military freely on the other side, because this castle kind of eliminates any enemy movement in that direction, at least melee units and siege. Can almost just patrol in here, Drunk Viper. Maybe long-term Drunk Viper will need a complementary unit to handle the elite skirms as well, but they are not in a threatening mass just yet. You have a hole in the wall next to this castle because you were about to expand that way. Yeah, not an option currently. Imperial Age 40 seconds away from Drunk Viper now. As you can see, Joey Pura Vida has had to replenish units all the time. The KD is more than twice for Drunk Viper, so Joey will be far away from the Imperial Age for now because of the army investment. Also investing into stone here for more defensive castle, but that's kind of counterproductive at this point because Drunk Viper will be in Imperial Age and able to produce trebuchets and start pushing that way. There's enough stone for Drunk Viper for 2 more castles as well, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see another forward castle in somewhere in this area to start treb pushing from both sides potentially. Town Patrol, actually, for Drunk Viper. He wants vision here, so he's prioritizing Town Patrol over Bracer and Chemistry here. Yeah, this is rough. Parthian, no, heavy cav archer coming in, not Parthian tactics, but heavy cav archers. 32 cav archers to become heavy cav archers, 2 ranges still producing, and a very healthy food and wood economy to keep producing here. I'd like to see more ranges producing here for Drunk Viper. We see the light cab being added as well. Hussar should be affordable soon enough, as Joey Puravida scrambles up another defensive castle. But these castles will be short-lived as soon as Drunk Viper gets to the trebuchets, to the bombard cannons, to whatever it needs to be. Big, massive military domination here for Drunk Viper. Is using the light cab to focus down the skirmishers, and now heavy cav archer is in as well. Where's Bracer? We need Bracer as well for range and attack output for the cav archers. Chemistry also providing extra attack for the cav archers, but Bracer, seriously, Bracer, so important upgrade for ranged units. When you have access to it, that's the first thing you get in Imperial Age. It gives you 1 more range, it gives you 1 more attack. It's way more important than Town Patrol and Chemistry. Though Chemistry, Bracer, Chemistry, most important ones. So here's the forward castle. We're going to see some trebs from either side here, maybe. Some light cav as well joining in from the Hussar, in fact, is in. Heavy cav archer, Hussar in mass. That's such a hard combo to deal with when they reach a sizable mass. And especially for Celts lacking the mobility anyway. Of course, Celts have Siege Odegar and Halberdiers, but Joey Puravida is still in the castle and has no way to get to that. Probably won't be seeing Imperial Age here, with the Hussar raids joining in and everything that's happening here. Yeah, it's 141 villagers to 98, so Joey Puravida still has a economy rolling here. But it's almost 100 total population difference here. Siege weapons is what's going to close out this game. Military size difference, not too crazy. Here comes some Mangonels. Maybe they'll get some nice hits in on the cav archer mass. Nope. Deceivingly fast-firing Celt Siege here. But Drunk Viper is dodging that nicely and avoiding the shots, keeping most of the cav archer mass alive. Here comes the treb. GG well played is called. We are evening it out to a 3-3, and we will be going to a game 7, a final game. Alright, so we're gonna browse through the stats here. Indians dominating against Kelsier, but Indians really strong on this map because of the shortfish. One point of improvement here definitely is getting Bracer. It's so important for any range unit if you get it in the Imperial Age. It's the first one you should get, no exceptions. Town Patrol, nah, not gonna need that. It's almost the same cost as the Bracer as well. Get Bracer. Seeing the treb, I knew I was dead. Yeah, defensive castles, they don't hold well against trebuchets, unfortunately. Eco situation are well ahead for the Indians. Drunk Viper basically claiming the whole map. Not really the middle pond, but when the fish runs out, it's more of a strategic point to assume, and with the broadness of the sides here, you don't have to have naval control for the late game. Only player we're making it to Imp is Drunk Viper, Seed 1 in this bracket. And yeah, let's go back to the draft here, toggle the civilizations. We have Celts losing to Indians here. We're left with Saracens. Mayans Khmer Malay here. For what is Joey Pura Vida's last home map. Malay Mayans on houseboat. Okay, I have never casted a houseboat game, so bear with me for this one. So houseboat, you start with the TC in the middle. You have to transport villagers out to get to woodlands, to get to everything outside there. At least you start with the house, so you have a temp population to space to begin with. That's something. Joey Provida transports the Eagle Scout out right away. This has to be such a tedious map to play. You have to transport builders all the time from your TC, at least until you get TCs out on the field. And yeah, so APM heavy this map. But you have a very nice start with food with the shorefish next to the TC. See that 3-4 shorefish spots around the TC? So your starting food, that's your TC generally shouldn't really be running idle here as long as you collect the shorefish to begin with, and then you'll expand to get berries or herdables or whatever. APM is important, right? Well, I think Dread Viper consistently out APMs me. Yeah, you seem to have good good Cav micro, and that's a sign of good APM for sure. Houses right around the TC here. It's such a cramped area to start with. Here's Drunk Viper already moving out to find a lumber camp. I think he wants to get an early dock up here and start taking the deep fish as well, which I think is good for the early food sources. Of course, you could take the berries, but the patches are only 2 berries at a time. Rhinos are kind of far away, and you don't have the comfort of a TC to run them into either. So yeah, good call, I think, to invest into wood right away and try to get that dock up ASAP. Mayans, longer lasting resources, that of course applies to shorefish as well, so they could stick around on the starting island for a bit longer. Eventually you want to get dock up though, because there's much deep fish here to benefit from, and the shorefish on the sides as well. Should definitely be docking. So both players scouting the sides here now, getting some idea, finding some herdables, some food. That's going to be useful for later. Has to be so annoying to transport villagers the whole time. Here comes the dock for Drunk Viper. He's actually behind in villagers production. No, wait. He's not behind the villagers. It's the Mayans starting with 1 more villager, so scratch that. But he is, in fact, behind the villagers because of the Mayans bonus. Dock now up. Fishing ship should be starting production any moment now, I would assume. And here comes the dock for Joey Pura Vida as well. So their fishing ship production starts at roughly the same time here. They'll probably get housed soon because of the fish and villagers investment here. But looks like Drunk Viper at least is on top of things. He scrambles down the house before getting pop capped on 20. Let's see if Joey Pura Vida does the same here. Oh, there's the scout. Trying to get some hits in on the docking villager, but aside from idling this villager chasing the scout from Joey Pura Vida, the scout doesn't get the kill, of course. Against Mayans, you'll have Loom right away because of starting at 5 pop, or usually you will. Maybe not in this instance because of the extra house. But yeah, Loom definitely in, so the scout doesn't get an easy kill there. Could have used a little bit of the heal advantage, but more villagers coming in to fight means that the scout needs to back off or die, depending. Now a mill on the berries for Drunk Viper, and also going to gold. Wonder if that means archers, or if it's actually going to try and get a sneak dock up on Joey Pura Vida's side. Both viable options, although with the TC being close to most of the deep fish here, I guess you could use the TC as a to garrison the TC to keep enemy ships away. So Malay, they, as we know, they go to up to the ages 66% faster. That's giving them a nice quick power spike for any kind of unit to go for. Could be that Drunk Viper is also going for a cheeky fast castle here to go for... could even go for an Elephant Rush, not that that necessarily makes sense, but if the Mayans... If Joey Pura Vida goes for the extended feudal age aggression, which he's been doing consistently for a few of the games, you could actually... go for the Elephant Rush here, ironically enough, since monks are the best way to counter that. Here come two villagers, not very well hidden. Joey Pura Vida actually sees it, I think. He just has the villager away, but two villagers for safety here, for Drunk Viper to secure that dock. And yes, Joey Pura Vida says, if you win water on the enemy pond, you can deny Vil crossing in the transport. And that is huge, actually. So if Drunk Viper wins water here, is already in the feudal age, basically. It's 15 seconds to go. And it's not just one, it's two docks right away here. Wow. Yeah, this is a concern for Joey Pura Vida. Just clicked the feudal age, so it's still 2 minutes to go until Joey can make naval armies of his own, and he's going to be subject to double dock aggression for Drunk Viper. It seems a bit greedy with straight double docks here for Drunk Viper, because it is affecting the galley production. Without the second dock, that galley would already be 50% on the way. But as Drunk Viper sends more builders to wood, that's not going to be an issue. Both docks will be producing. Nice little quick waltz again from Drunk Viper as well to secure these two forward builders to take some of the shorefish here. Second dock coming up from Mayans as well. Mayans not exactly famous for their naval capabilities. And here they are. Oh, he's gonna get the transport ship. He is going to force Joey Pura Vida to... Oh, that's so brilliant to go for the transport ship right away. But the TC gets garrisoned, so the TC will fire at the galley. Transport ship. It's so important to keep the transport ship alive here. Because it's expensive to replenish. And when you don't have the transport ship, you can't transport villagers to the mainland. What a crazy map this is. Eagle Scout still out and about. I'm not sure if it's Auto Eagle or if it's manual scouting. Oh, again chasing that transport ship. I guess the galley was focused down by TC fire not long ago. Let's see. Transport ship still lives, but more galleys in the queue here. Drunk Viper a little bit impatient here, not waiting for galley mass before engaging here. But he really is trying specifically to target the transport ship so that villager movement can be denied. Floating some resources here, but that's going to facilitate the eventual cast stage transition as well. No fletching for the galleys yet, even though there's wood for a blacksmith maybe. He's committing to more galleys. Also some fire galleys here. So good recovery by Joey Pura Vida here. Keeping the transport ship alive. Repairing it as well, just to make sure it doesn't die. And yeah. Able to recover here with the double docks with the mines and the fire galleys. Forward builders going to go down for Drunk Viper as well. Unless he's able to put them away somehow, and that means that repairs on own military ships here will be difficult. Again, he's targeting the transport, but with no fletching, the galleys deal less damage. So So still not successfully sniping the transport ship here. They're trading equally with the armies on water here, but Joey seems to be struggling to keep up production here. He is going for some land aggression as well, though, with does have a barracks and the range up on land. So if you can punish the wood income of the Malay, that means no more naval investment over here for Drunk Viper. Is he gonna get to kill the transport ship? It's still annoying to have to garrison the TC all the time to keep them from killing your transport ship and not being able to transport villagers consistently. There's no more resources to be taken around TC either, so if this transport ship goes down, Joey Pura Vida will have to prioritize getting a new transport ship out, and now it goes down. I think just one more hit with the galley, and that one goes down. 2 more hits maybe, or the fire galley. This is so silly. Oh, and repairing again. Good call by Joey, but is it going to be enough? He has to keep that transport ship alive, and there it goes down. TC providing cover fire here, but now Joey Pura Vida has no way whatsoever to bring the villagers over until the land, and he's not queuing a new transport ship either. He's not in a position to go Castle Age, even though he could drop a market here and maybe buy his way up and to start producing TCs on land. The range isn't producing because of the importance of investing into naval units here and to chase away that Malay aggression over here. New transport ship in queue. But yeah, lots of villagers going idle as a result of this. So, Mayans Eco are arguably showing their power here. 2 docks for both players, but Joey Pura Vida able to keep up with the Malay here, even with the later uptime, and now Drunk Viper dropping a 3rd dock. He just consistently focuses on Joey Pura Vida's home area to try and deny expansion into the mainland. A new transport ship is out though, so now Joey Pura Vida can transport villagers again. The range still not producing any archers. 2nd range, 3rd range coming up here. So Joey aims for the Castle Age here now. Just a little bit of food to go for that. And seems to have a decent grasp of the naval situation as well as the Malay player keeps committing here. Some good demo shots from Drunk Viper. Might get the transport ship yet again here. He's chased. Oh, he's gonna get the villagers. Oh, nice. 2 villagers, 2.5. Going down to a demolition delete there. And now the fire galleys are out to contest the docks of Joey Pura Vida. Castle Age on the way though. So with Castle Age kicking in, Joey is going to be able to assume some position on land, not only with villagers, but with town centers. It's also with 6 villagers on stones. We are going to see a castle drop yet again, I think. And can't help but think that Drunk Viper might be over-investing on the enemy town center side here at this point. Yeah, Viper could have definitely gone Castle Age. I think he might be missing the blacksmith or something, because fletching isn't in at all, so can't really... Yeah, he doesn't have a single building, doesn't have the market, doesn't have the blacksmith, so Viper could have been Castle Age, yes, but it's lacking the buildings. It's way too focused on the naval fighting here. And of course, it's making a difference. It's causing a lot of idle economy, of course, not being able to transport villagers over. But with Castle Age kicking in for Joey Pura Vida, that's going to be much less of a concern. Eventually, we might even delete the DC in the middle here, so you don't need to worry about transporting villagers all the time. It's just such a tedious task to keep moving them around. So Castle Age is in, and Drunk Viper is also going up, and with that... Wait, it's not going up, actually. It's, yeah, 1 minute 30 seconds. I don't know why it glitched out there, but that's probably some Malay bug. Not too far behind to the Castle Age because of the Malay bonus here. The villager numbers are comparable, and because of the aggression here, of course, Drunk Viper has had his own fish economy running very smoothly, and it's also delayed the land efforts of Joey Puravida, who now is queuing crossbows out of 3 ranges, and will be making some significant advances on land here. Looks like the docks might be going down, but at this point Drunk Viper doesn't have any response to what's going on land. He doesn't have skirmishers, he doesn't have Storm for a castle, in fact he doesn't even have Storm for 2 TCs because he's been placing an outpost here too. So at least he sees the crossbows coming his way, but it's a lot of crossbows, and these villagers, they don't have a point of refuge yet. He buys Stone for 2 immediate TCs over here, and 4 TCs total for the Malay player in fact. Which will provide a nice point of refuge for the villagers, but these guys are not doing too well over here. Bodkinero, however, is missing for Joey Puravida, so it's taking the crossbows longer to take out villagers here. They're still getting very nice trades here. 6, 7, 8, 9 villagers down. The Drunk Viper heavily behind the villagers now. And a castle at home base for Joey Puravida to protect the docks here, just to eliminate that threat. He really wants to reclaim the pond around the home base here. Can't help but feel like this is not ideal right now. There's lots of land armies for Joey Puravida here, so might as well use these crossbows to defend a castle drop and apply pressure to Drunk Viper's advances instead. But then again, you need to know where he's advanced to, and there are TCs not scouted by Joey Puravida here, so from his scouting perspective, a defensive castle makes more sense now, I guess. So we have some crossbows around here that are learning the hard way that there are TCs protecting the enemy economy. It is denying Drunk Viper of important economy though, and you could situate some crossbows here to take out fishing ships or idle fishing ships as they try to drop off food as well. So these land armies still have some merit to them. Drunk Viper has also invested in the land armies though, is okay with the general naval situation being lost, and it has been able to mass up crossbows again. It is queuing Cab Archer as well. Is that a hotkey mistake or is it actually intentional? Welcome back. I will heal you 12. You're in time just for the final game. 7 game set in the best of 7 final. That's the way we like to see it. So, good crossbow mass for Drunk Viper. No ballistics, but I'm sure we're gonna see that eventually. It's actually affordable, but I'm not sure if the university has been built yet. Yeah, beautiful set indeed. Cab Archer hype! Malay Cab Archer. When was the last time you saw a Malay Cab Archer, huh? My friend Dennis would be proud. And actually, this explains the sort of hidden defensive castle of Joey Puravida. He needs to go plumed archers, which is great. It's basically the Mayans equivalent of a cavalry archers. Of course, they are more fragile, but they're speedy as heck. They move at 120 compared to the crossbow 096, so they will outrun the crossbows, and they are move so fast they can easily dodge any mangonel onager projectiles along the way. Drunk Viper is really massing up on the land economy though, desperate to get back into the eco lead position here. 64 to 42 is the villager count. But army-wise, Drunk Viper is taking the lead here. Second castle, if that goes up, that might be a concern for Drunk Viper, because these Plumed Archers, they train so quickly. They're an amazing raiding unit. However, Joey Puravida isn't really too consistent with the army production. It's going into skirmishers to react to the crossbow mass of Drunk Viper, but in fact the Mayans have cheaper crossbows, and there are 3 ranges here to produce from Joey Puravida, so you don't necessarily need to go into crossbows here. You should be able to outmass the Malay due to the cheaper archers. But the castle definitely goes up. It will focus down some buildings here as well, and it's on the stone, so Joey Puravida probably means to get more war castles up for Plumed Archer production and defense. Now has some siege weapons here as well to clean up some of the forward presence of Drunk Viper. Drunk Viper not queuing builders at all, seems to be struggling a little bit of food here. Has those mighty Malay fish traps though, they will never deplete, or I mean they have 3 times the food. So it will almost never deplete. They're going to take a long time to... until you need... Yeah, look at that. 2,000 food in 1 fish trap. Compared to a farm that has 200. And it's like 10 times the food of a farm in the Malay fish traps. So one reason to choose them on maps like these, of course, where you can fish trap your way into victory. By just having never-ending food and research forced levy from your castle and spam 200 swordsmen for only food. And just basically treat them as a trash unit that to take out buildings and units just due to sheer mass. But the crossbows of Drunk Viper, they're doing damage as well. Drunk Viper is still behind due to lack of builder production. Just look at the idle TC's difference here. 5 minutes to 44 minutes is ridiculous, but of course Drunk Viper has more TC's as well, so that plays in here. But 70 villagers for the Mayans, that's because of the longer lasting resources. That's basically more villagers. I mean, 72 villagers for Mayans and 72 villagers for the Malay, that's essentially better economy-wise for the Mayans, so they're in a great spot economically here now. The castles are doing work as well. Neither player is going to see Imperial Age anytime soon. Ballistics coming in to benefit the range units of Joey Puravida, but it's not producing anything at this point. Could be an economy issue. We'll need maybe some more villagers on gold. Here come the crossbow masses as well to obstruct that 1 gold pile that Joey Puravida is taking, and the Mangonel is taking the long way around here to try and catch up with them. Could be deadly for Drunk Viper, of course, and this is the all of the army that Drunk Viper has, so we can't really afford to lose that at this point. It's being sandwiched up into the corner. Imagine if Joey Puravida had a second Mangonel here now to go for 1 Mangonel for each side. There would be no escape whatsoever for Drunk Viper. But yeah, Drunk Viper just moves around and dodges the Mangonel threat here. No, wait! Maybe Joey is still able to track the movement here. He's trickling in the Plumed Archers 1 by 1. I'm not sure why this castle is garrisoned. It's probably just moving villagers from one place to the other. I don't know who's winning here. It's so even. It's 99 to 93 pop here. Slightly more villagers for Drunk Viper. It's slightly more villagers for Joey Puravida. But that can change quickly with the raiding units moving out there. They both have ballistics. They both have full upgrades as far as I can tell for the archers. Could check for thumbering here just to check. In fact, Joey is the only one with thumbering here. That could make a difference in the archer versus archer fight. Farm eco arguably exposed here, but there's also a defensive castle to seek refuge for the villagers. So if Joey Puravida's reaction is on point here, you could just save most of these villagers and also have the castle killing some of the crossbows. I'm not sure if Drunk Viper is paying attention to the... Why is the castle firing at buildings? Should be targeting Crossbows. Great value for the raids from Drunk Viper here. 37 villagers killed thus far. Here comes a defensive castle as well to keep this siege push and yeah, ranged units away. Joey Puravida will need to back off. Does not get to eat this TC through the raids and through the fact that Drunk Viper has more TC's total. Drunk Viper has actually been able to catch up here. Joey is going to learn the hard way that this spot is already occupied. That's not going to be your TC spot today. And let's see if Drunk Viper reacts. Does he see this on the minimap? Does he see these little blue spots on the minimap? In fact, it's not even visible on the minimap. It's barely visible, but he sees it. And Joey will be losing yet even more villagers here. So much happening at once this game. Crossbows here. Yeah, some action here. I don't know what happened to the forward units, but Joey only producing villagers currently. Booming is not going to help all that much here. Going to need to take out the production buildings here and keep queuing RV. Always keep queuing Giltry if there are the resources for this. Wood and gold in the bank. Crossbows production now back on track here from the ranges over here. Makes sense. Mayans have a discount on the crossbows. But I guess this game is going to the Imperial Age eventually, and whoever gets to the Imperial Age first will have the advantage of Arbalest and Trebuchet's stronger siege weapons. Here goes a forward castle from Drunk Viper. That's going to deny this TC and this gold spot, so it's slowly starving the mines of gold. However, there's a lot of resources still to be claimed by Joey Puravida here, so no big deal just yet. Here comes the siege weapons to clean up at least the ranges over here. Plumed Archers, Skirmishers, Mangonel could get a big splatter shot here, but Drunk Viper's split micro is on point. He's deleting some of his houses. This is almost getting to a point of houseness here, actually, with the deleting of his own houses to facilitate pathing. Another cab archer! I don't know if it's a misclick or if it's actually intentional, but it looks like a misclick since it's mainly crossbows in production here. But yeah, gotta love the Malay cab archers, probably some of the worst cab archers in the game since they don't get bloodlines and yeah, okay, but not the worst. I take that back, but they are not famous for the cab archers. Let's just put it that way. Joey Puravida trading well here, taking out a lot of Drunk Viper's armies. So Drunk Viper back in the eco lead, yes, indeed. But now Joey Puravida has a massive military lead, which could be a huge advantage here to reclaim the map and deny Joey of crucial resources here. He's rebuilding the ranges though. He has wood in the bank, not so much gold. And I'm not sure what it's going to make out of all this food, but long term maybe thinking about elephants or forced levy 200 swordsmen. I wouldn't know. 200 swordsmen doesn't make sense with this many ranged units on the field though, but now it's Mayans back in the driver's seat here to push the match into their favor. They're splitting the map in half here. There's still lots of gold to be taken, lots of wood. We're not nearly close to any resources being depleted here. I see some eagles being added by Joey as well. That's a good call against what has been an exclusive crossbow play by Drunk Viper here. But Drunk Viper, if he makes it to the Imperial Age, will have Forced Levy 200 swordsmen. That's a good response to the Mayans Eagles, even though El Dorado Eagles from the Mayans have more HP than the 200 swordsmen. The swordsman line still has great bonus damage against foot soldiers. Well, this TC is about to go down, and Drunk Viper is the one taking equal losses now, but he's keeping that villager production going, still keeping it past 100 villagers, struggling for military. Don't understand the food investment here, what's that going to accomplish, but maybe we'll see the elephants or even scouts here just to raid. So, yeah, we'll see what the scouts will do here for Drunk Viper. He's selling food for gold. Battle Elephants for the Malay are at a 30% discount, and in the Imperial Age a 40% discount. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the stables will be producing here, as Joey Pura Vida claims more of the map here, TC on the gold and woodline over here, while pushing the production buildings on this side and going Imperial Age, which could be a huge one here. Drunk Viper shouldn't be too far behind, he is the Malay after all, so might actually be able to beat Joey Pura Vida to the Imperial Age, if he goes for it, that is. But Imperial Age is expensive, 1000 food, 800 gold. Yeah, it's not prioritizing it at this point. That could backfire as a forward castle comes here for Joey Pura Vida, allowing for trebuchets to start pushing the castles. That's a solid lead to the Imperial Age now that Drunk Viper still hasn't clicked. Oh wait, there it is. 150. 1 minute behind, not too bad. And using the middle TC here, that's not going to be obstructed by any kind of unit from Joey Pura Vida, so that Imp TC is safe. Malay Knight out and raiding here, no upgrades whatsoever, but sure, if you're floating food and gold, why not? Just make use of your units and resources and pump them out to try and shake things up a bit. They should be easy bait for a little group of crossbows or plumed archers or castle fire though, or TC, whatever. Should be just fine. Malay don't get bloodlines either, so the knights are stuck at that generic 100 hit points. Ooh, castle almost getting denied by the mangonel here, but looks like Joey will be completing it. Imperial Age is in, and will we be seeing Treb scutes from here? That's the question. Indeed, we are. Mayans get Siege Ram as well, so that could be a potential unit to add in here once the food and food eco allows. Ram upgrades only cost food for some reason, so they're fairly easy to get to, especially if you're floating food. Not quite the case for Joey Pura Vida just yet, though. Treb's popping out from here as well, but there are knights out on the field for Drunk Viper that could snipe this one. Where are the armies now? The crossbow mass, they're over here. Joey is scrambling at the castle. That could have been denied if Joey would see it going up, but by now it's too late. It's too late. Foundation is at 70%. Might get some builder kills here, but will need to pull away. There's no way that's getting denied. So the trebuchet is out, but aside from the castle defending it, there's nothing protecting these trebuchets here. Arbalest, Bracer, Conscription coming in for Drunk Viper here. All the more reason for Joey Pura Vida to double up on the Eagles here, because it's still mainly crossbows for Drunk Viper. Cavalry, not much of a threat from the Malay. The Knights would die to Eagle Warriors for sure. As another castle goes up here for Joey Pura Vida. So even if this castle goes down, there's going to be the trebuchets to... this castle to be taken out as well, unless Drunk Viper realizes and stops this one from going up. So the Eagles are diving in, but they are missing all of the defense upgrades, so they are not as tanky as they are supposed to be against Arbalest here. Non-elite, almost no defense here, but the army mass is still in the Mayans' favor here. It's 58 to 29, almost twice the armies. Arbalest can't move too close to the Trebs to snipe them either, because there's castle fire here to protect the Trebs from that. Second castle goes up, that's going to deal with the production buildings over here, and there is a Treb push going on the right hand side as well. Drunk Viper is losing map positioning, and is raiding with the very fragile yet fast Malay light cab, so I don't think raids are going to accomplish too much at this point though. There's 121 builders for the Mayans. I'm sure Joey Pura Vida will happily accept some some builder trades. Yeah, it's been a close set. I'd love to see that. We're actually 3.5 hours into the castle almost, so imagine the players that must have been taking some breaks along the way here, I think, because this must have been an exhausting set to play this best of 7. This is looking great for the Mayans, so look at that pop cap for Joey Vervido, Drunk Viper at 118 pop here, still massing the Arbalest, but we'll be needing something against... actually, there's no Eagles coming here, it's just Siege, Blue Archers and Crossbows here. Joey didn't even go into Arbalest here yet, but it's on the way. Heavily 34 builders of stone as well. That's a lot of builders of stone. At least make another mining camp here to effectivize it a little bit. Raids. It's an annoyance. It's forcing Joey Pura Vida into pikes, but it doesn't make that much sense. Played all the way through besides water breaks. Oh boy. Here comes the Eagle Switch. That's going to be the death of Drunk Viper's remaining Arbalests. And might not even need them at this point because the almost fully upgraded Arbalests of Joey Pura Vida is joining in there. As you can see, chemistry isn't in actually, so Drunk Viper has the better Arbalests here. But he's heavily outpopped. Is 80 more population by Joey here. Scrambling up a panic defensive castle in the corner here, but that's just buying time to try and get back into it here. It's just too many armies. It's 45 military to 1. Drunk Viper's economy is... Well, it still has eco, to be fair. It's struggling a bit for gold, but it could still mass trash units. Could maybe mass skirmishers to try and hold this off. But then again, it's the issue of Eagles, which Joey Pura Vida could easily mass now with the barracks going up here. It's actually making pikes at this point to keep the raids away, but no more cavalry from Drunk Viper. Seed 1 in this bracket. It's about to go down to Joey Pura Vida, whose seed I honestly don't remember, but probably high up there as well, given the performance. Yet another castle going up, and seed 3. There we go, yeah. And Trabs killing this castle as quickly as it goes up. The 7th game, sorry, goes to Joey Pura Vida. GG, well played, congrats. Love to see that friendly exchange between the players. Great set. As the last game goes to past 1 hour, and Mines actually outdoing Malay on this weird houseboat map. And yeah, Mayans eco. Solid, obviously. Good defense by Joey. Later feudal age. Much later feudal age here. Which almost gave Drunk Viper the huge advantage of denying Mayans expansion to the mainland. But he hang in there, he held on. I think Drunk Viper got a little bit too greedy with the double dock straight away, because the wood economy just didn't allow for both those docks to produce, and then there's just no point to having the second dock because it won't be giving you anything beneficial. It's funny how we can look at all of these advanced stats here: productive working time, worker time, and total worker time. These kinds of things. Could have a look at the stone gathering, which would be funny. It was pretty consistent here for Joey, planning for these castles all the way. Thanks for stopping by, Joey. Congratulations as the winner of the Group H of Wandering Squires. Oh, only less than 300 units killed for both. It felt like a lot more, to be honest. But that siege push, Imperial Age, slightly earlier Imperial Age for Joey Pura Vida made all the difference with the forward castle just in time to start treb pushing and just keep the Malay on their tiptoes. More resources collected from Malay, but yeah, Drunk Viper focusing a little bit too much on Joey Pura Vida's starting location, maybe. GG, well played.